They look as good as they sound.
Hey, this is Mika Zibanejad.
Hey, this is Adam Fox. Catch every Rangers game right here on 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. Don.
Give me a piece of wood. I'll eat it.
Hahn.
Peter, the most you sweat is at a buffet.
And Rosenberg.
I'll be honest, the one thing I miss about having an office is the taste of Steve Hart's nuts. This isn't North Dakota. This is New York.
This is Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
The best threesome I've ever heard.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
3:01 in the big city with Peter Rosenberg and Don LaGreca. I'm Alan Hahn. Don's going to join us in a minute because, as you know, it's Friday, and it's always Where's Waldo when it comes to this show. I am at MSG, at the MSG Studios. The Knicks play their last preseason game tonight, finally, and we can get the regular season going. Peter is in parts unknown somewhere in Florida.
Orlando, the WWE Performance Center.
I didn't want to reveal everything.
Oh,
there,
you were given that. Sorry. I ruined the gimmick. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
No worries. So you are there. I am here. Don is trying to get connected, and he will be here shortly. And we have a Football Friday. Now, it's a shorter show. We are done at 6 because we have baseball for you, ALCS Game 5, which, by the way, that series suddenly has gotten interesting as the teams keep winning. And then after that game, we'll get the end of Game 4 with the Dodgers sweep. That's all the baseball I want to talk about today, to be honest with you. It is a Football Friday.
Can I just say one thing, though? Can I just give props to Max Scherzer for pulling the anti-Harvey, respectfully?
That was a moment, wasn't it? When he basically barked Schneider back to the dugout.
Listen, if you spent – you guys know how little I care about baseball at this point. But if you watch baseball all year and you find yourself frustrated at how little old-timey baseball you get – you have to watch, if you haven't seen, Max Scherzer just absolutely throwing a fit and refusing to come out of the game, and then the strikeout. It was fantastic.
You better you better get the strikeout. I mean, that was the moment that mattered. But suddenly the Blue Jays once again look like the Blue Jays, and again, it's like you hate watch as a Yankees fan because you're not really sure how to feel. But that's where that is. I got to be honest. The Giants-Broncos game is we're hyping it up because we feel like it might be the last important game of the season when it comes to are the Giants a team that can stay in it versus a team that we'll just be watching to see if they have a quarterback instead of can they stay in it. So this game in Denver's got that kind of juice to it. But I tell you what, Peter, there's a lot more juice to it because yesterday we revealed Jonathan Cooper, the linebacker, having something to say about Dart and Scatterboo and the dancing and all the stuff that they're doing. But there's a lot more back and forth now going on between both sides. Nick Benito put something out on Twitter that he took down right away, but everybody saw it. And so there's all of a sudden a little bit of extra juice in this game. And you wonder, when you look at the numbers, especially defensively, what the Broncos can do. Like, this is one of those games where if Dart's for real, he doesn't have that look like a rookie performance against the defense that gets after the quarterback. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of reason to believe this is a game where he's going to look like a rookie quarterback because that's a defense that gets after the quarterback.
Absolutely. And this game, to me, already had a lot of juice just based on the fact that the Giants now are playing actual football. In the words of Don LaGreca, they're playing like they have a damn football team. And obviously you want to see the development of the quarterback. But now, between the fact that you win this game, you feel like you have a legitimate shot at a season this year. Yeah. And again, none of the three of us think they need to be chasing a season this year. It's all about the development of the quarterback. Mm-hmm. But we know I know what it's like. You want your team to go for it every year. So you get to 3 and 4, you're having a conversation about this year.
Yeah, you want to say the future's now.
Yeah, and listen, you start to say, hey, at least we could chase a wild card. Why not us? Right. If you lose it, you go to 2 and 5, you probably have less of that conversation. But now, a little bit of this trash talk, and it feels like we have a little something extra, a little extra mustard on the hot dog. And this is the kind of stuff, if you loved the Jackson Dart and Scatterboo the dances, the celebrations, the shirt off, the chains. If you love it, just know this is what comes with that. And let's see how they respond to it with a defense that's not only very good, but clearly aware after watching your national attention last week of who you guys are.
Abdul Carter, fellow rookie, he got involved in it as well. By the way, he's listed as questionable with a hamstring, so keep an eye on that. But he talked about the team because those guys saw what Benito tweeted, jumped on it on Twitter, started going back and forth, and Abdul Carter talked about how the team started defending Jackson Dart on social media.
Yeah, we believe in our guys. Really nothing. You don't want to put too much into it, but we ready for Sunday. We're going to sort everything on the field.
Sort out everything on the field. I kind of like that. Was Abdul Carter surprised by those comments?
No, I wasn't surprised. People say things, but like I said, we play in 2 days, so everything going to be settled Sunday.
I love that kind of stuff. Last thing, and Don's joining us now, Peter Schrager also talked about what he's hearing about people around the league and these brash rookies with the Giants that we're celebrating. We love it, but around the league, not a lot of fans of this. Listen to Schrags.
You saw Jonathan Cooper's comments. You see some of the other comments from people around the league. I get texts about it after that Thursday night win from people saying, the Giants are 2-4 and just lost to the Saints last week. You know that, right? And I'm like, I get it. It's a measure of market and personalities, and both these kids have it, and the market is dying for it. And when these things start happening and they start winning, this city explodes. You can feel it in the streets, even though they're 2-4 right now.
And Dart's response was, when it comes to all the things being said about him, he said to the Post, I think a lot of guys wear chains and dance when they score touchdowns. I appreciate him following my dance touchdowns. You like this, Don? Little trash talk going into a big game, or are you concerned about this?
Well, concern is strong.
All right.
It's just, do we really need to add anything to our plate? You're 2-4. I mean, we're basing this off of one game. All right? Nobody was talking like this after they lost to the Saints. All right? But you do throw the Charger win in, so they've won 2 of 3, feeling a little strong, right? You're feeling good about yourself. But the Saint game still happened. And now you're going up against the Denver team that's got the best defense in the NFL. You're playing on a road, one of the most hostile environments in the NFL. So you got a lot on your plate to follow this up, and now another element has been added. Now, to defend Scadaboo and Dart, they weren't thinking that when they won the game against Philadelphia. They were just having a good time. National television. But to Peter's point, well, this is what happens. This is the byproduct of what happens. So now you're a brash team. You're one of those teams.
Yep.
And now there's a bit of a target on your back. Are you ready for that? Because when Deion Sanders was strutting down the field, scoring touchdowns, he was on one of the best teams in football, and he was on his way to the Hall of Fame, right? Mm-hmm. And he was able to back that up. If you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. And now, whether it was intentional, unintentional, or whatever, now the Giants have to feel like they got to go out there and walk the walk. Are they capable of doing that, guys? I don't think so. Not yet. They're kids.
Now, there's more to the story because, again, the Benito stuff was what he took down, had more to do with the Giants' fan base, the hype behind the Giants at 2-4 going into this game. His tweet said, I've never seen such a delusional fan base. Now, he took it down, but, of course, nothing disappears on social media. Kayvon Thibodeau, others, followed up with something to say as well. But the fan base thing I get. It's New York. And as I said, they haven't had much to grasp. This town has needed an enema. These guys have provided that. It has given the Giant franchise a stuffy franchise that hasn't had great personality, hasn't had a lot of – they haven't had any kind of bravado like this, right? Like Don, you're the Giants fan. Can you remember back the last time? And Jeremy Shockey had a little bit of this, but he was more like nozzly than he was fun. Odell, a little bit, but that's different than what this is, if you ask me. And so fans get excited. New York gets excited. And outside of New York, it's almost like people – this is not just – I used to think it was just a Knicks thing. No, people roll their eyes anytime New York gets excited about one of their teams.
Well, exactly, because why do you think the Yankees are so hated? Now, there might be because of the reputation they have of always being good, but the Yankees are a pretty likable team. I don't think people around Major League Baseball have any problem with Aaron Judge. or any problem with Bellinger or Volpe or even Giancarlo Stanton. I think he's very well respected. It's just that they know things hit different in New York. And going to New York is difficult to play, and their fans get on them. And that's and you're famous because you play in New York. There's a lot of good things happening around the league, but in New York, it's different. The Knicks, now the Giants, there seems to be some sort of a bravado that comes with playing in New York that seems to rub people that don't play in New York the wrong way.
Yeah.
But I'm all for bravado, but you got to back it up. I could run around with my shirt off. What does it mean? Right? I can wear big gold chains and say I'm the best talk show host in the business and strut around.
I agree.
But if I don't put the numbers up, if I don't do a good show, it's going to fizzle out and die. Right? So this isn't Lawrence Taylor doing this. This isn't Eli Manning doing this. These are two kids that we have no idea are even going to be around in a couple of years, right? So, and again, I don't think their intention was anything other than just having fun, kids just excited about the fact that they beat the Eagles who they never beat. But this is the byproduct of that, and now it's being talked about. So what are you going to do? Are you going to double down and continue doing it? All right, that's fine as long as you win, because it's not going to look great if you get beat by 4 touchdowns. Then where did it go?
Nowhere.
Right? Then it goes back into the closet, and it doesn't matter anymore. So now as we prepare for what is the biggest game the Giants have played in a long time, we wanted meaningful games in October. We got one. Giants win this game. Somebody's going to lose in Dallas, Washington. Washington's really banged up. It wouldn't be shocked, Peter, if Dallas were to beat the Commanders.
No.
Philadelphia's fallen apart. So if the Giants are 3-4, they might be in the thick of an actual division race. Now, their schedule's tough, and it's probably not going to happen, but at least going into Week 8, if you win, now you're halfway through the season, and you're involved, and people are excited, and now you've won 3 out of 4 games. You beat Denver, who was a playoff team last year. You beat the Chargers. You would have come off the big win that you had last week against Philadelphia, the defending Super Bowl champions. Now it's a thing. It's nothing if they get killed by Denver. So now they've got to walk the walk, guys, and I'm just a little worried that are they good enough to walk the walk?
Well, this is the whole – it's such a fine line between liking a player's attitude, liking their swag, and it going too far. And, Don – and this goes right back to that conversation that we had on text when I was walking around Perth, Australia, talking with you guys about the reaction to that game. And, Don and I were more of the didn't really like it. Anthony was like, hey, I'm here for it. You had in Anthony, understandably, and I'm sure many, you have young Giants fans who go, I have watched this team forever. They've been not good. They've had no swag. They've been completely boring. And as nice a guy and as nice and boring a guy as Daniel Jones was, guess what? All of that being laid back and modest didn't lead to any more wins. They got nothing from it. So, hey, let me enjoy my guys having swagger. But the second you then get it shoved down your throat the next week, it hurts even worse than a regular loss. And now you think, oh, God, could this actually have somehow a more negative impact than simply losing has?
Now, I don't want to talk for Anthony or even for Allen, who was on board with it too. Is that this is great if it leads to something. Because I like that kind of bravado, that kind of confidence. And if this leads to this is the next generation of great Giants, this is going to be fantastic. This is going to age well. But if it doesn't, it's going to sting a little bit more, and it's just going to be one of those, whatever happened to moments. And I just think in the maturation process of this team, do you really want to add another obstacle? Do you really want to add another layer? I like being stealth. I'd rather go into Denver with the Broncos overconfident. And the Broncos ignoring us because we're a lousy football team, and they're just going to think, this is our get well game after looking bad against the Jets. Now you're on not only on they're on their radar, you're completely motivated. Mm-hmm. And I'm not mad at them because I don't think that was their intent. But that's what was created. And I think I've been around long enough in this market, and Alan, you have too. We see how this ends up working out. Think of the biggest athletes in New York, right? Who are the most famous athletes in New York recently, right? It's Eli Manning. Mm-hmm. didn't say boo. Derek
Right.
Jeter didn't say boo.
Judge, nothing.
Judge, nothing. Get nothing out of him, right?
Brunson, nothing.
Brunson, yeah, they just do their work, and we
God,
love
I mean, keep going. By the way, keep going. Revis, very little.
You want to go to those extremes. You have to go way back.
Hank Lundqvist, not a lot.
Lundqvist, nothing.
Yeah.
You know, sharp dresser, but he just
No, but he was intense on the ice, but off the ice,
Marty Brodeur. Never, you couldn't tell if they were winning 6-0 or losing 6-0, right? I mean, and I'm not saying that one automatically leads to another because Daniel Jones was that way. He got nothing out of him, right? Yeah. But let's not put the cart before the horse. Is all. I'm saying.
Digging into the nuance of swag, there's different ways to do it, right? Like, and I say this with no judgment because I enjoy it and I also see the concern. But like, for example, if you were to look at the last flashy football player in New York that you would qualify that way, I think we'd all agree Cruz. Like Victor had his own style with the dance, but it wasn't aggressive. Like Victor danced and it was fun loving, but he wasn't a trash talker. He had a dance that he did when he scored a touchdown. It tapped into sort of his Puerto Rican culture and the fan base here, but it wasn't a trash talk thing. Then you go forward, the loudest, most brash person there was, Odell, complete flame out disaster.
Yeah. He did. There were all the histrionics on the sidelines. Never mind, what he might have done on the field. But the team also didn't have success, like Don said. To me, everything flamed out in Green Bay after the whole banana boat thing when they carried on and then they got smoked. And it never was the same after that game, at least in my opinion. But look, I think this stuff's fun. I don't have a problem with it. Opponents, first of all, what are the Broncos looking for here? Motivation, right? Like, it almost as if they're trying to, get motivated to play against another bad team from New York. Who knows? Maybe that's what it is, and so there's the first thing they found. And fans on social media go after opponents, and they talk trash. They say all this stuff. And these guys, for whatever reason, read all of it. Now, they don't need to. So, are the Giants walking into a buzzsaw? They already are. Guys, Denver leads the NFL in sacks, quarterback hits, and pressure rate. How's that going to work out for a rookie quarterback? Never mind trash talk or motivation. Just go up against the defense that leads the league in all those categories against a rookie quarterback. It's going to be a long day.
And let's get this straight, too. I don't think they trash talk, to my knowledge. They were just having a good time after a win.
Yep. I agree.
And there's a lot of players that have a problem with that because they're like, you're 2-4. What are you doing?
Right.
And that was kind of like my attitude as a fan. Like, guys, can we just tone it down?
Well, Don, it did go because it went. You're right. It wasn't trash talk, but we also could agree it went a little beyond just one touchdown dance. It was after the game. It felt like an extended celebration for a team without a winning record.
Every Thursday game is like that, though. Whoever wins the game, it feels like they won a playoff game, by the way, because that's how Amazon does it. They've got the desk on the field. They bring you over for an interview. Fans hang out over in that area.
The whole league's watching.
The whole league's watching. It feels like a playoff game, even though it's really just a Thursday win. So that's why also that stuff gets big. And everything that happens in New York is always, as you know, 10 times bigger or at least presented 10 times bigger than anywhere else.
Now, think about this, too. If you wanted to bet a game this weekend, you know what I'm saying? Maybe even on Saturday, you could fire up your Saturday with FanDuel because FanDuel has a boost that you don't want to miss. It's called Boostin' with the Boys, and it's giving everyone a college football profit boost every single week. So here's how it works. Each week, they're giving everyone a profit boost to use on college football. No opt-in gymnastics, no invite-only nonsense. Everyone gets the boost. We're talking real games, real teams, real Saturdays with an extra payout on the line. It's easy, it's fun, and it's only on FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com/Peter to download the app. Check out the Boostin' with the Boys offer and get in on the action. 21 or over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. And, of course, guys, we'll have our picks in the 5 o'clock hour. We'll have a very hectic 5 o'clock hour with the picks, with the announcer lineup. We'll get into all of it after 5 o'clock.
It's going to be a fast-paced show. There's no question about that. And we have a ton to get to. We still have to get to a little bit of the Jets and more Aaron Glenn audio for you to enjoy. I don't know if, Don, have you heard it yet? Because I just want to watch your face while he's talking and just see your reactions, because It's again, less is more, Coach, is probably the advice I'd give him. Want to get some calls in here, guys? 800-919-3776. Mike in Orlando. He could practically reach out and touch Peter if he wanted to.
Aww.
What's up, Mike?
Okay. Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
What's up, buddy?
So I agree with most of what you guys are saying, especially what Don was saying a little earlier. So the winner goes the spoils. If the Giants are winning games, it's fun, it's competitive, it's interesting. If they lose, and they lose badly, it'll go away. They'll be humbled. When Cam Newton used to be scoring all over the league, he'd do his dances. People would get mad, but if you can't beat him, you can't get mad. So if the Giants turn out to be a good team, it'll be a fun thing. If they get humbled, and it'll go away. They won't be dancing if they're losing.
Yep. It just adds another layer of an obstacle, which is a very, very difficult matchup for them. Don't you think Denver's treating this game like they lost last week?
Well, they weren't happy with their
They
performance.
beat the worst team in football 13-11.
Yeah.
Right? So I am sure Sean Payton treated them this week, which is a quick turnaround having to come back from London, as if they lost that game. It's the best defense in football, guys. Just is. I mean, they get after it. As much as we kill the Jets for not doing anything offensively, there was a major reason why. Denver's really good. And they're a playoff team from last year. Bo Nix is due. He hasn't had that great of a season. That's a difficult place to play. It's a reason why Vegas has him as a 7.5-point favorite. So
clearly,
it is a difficult, very difficult matchup to begin with, and now made more difficult by this.
Let's go to Griffin in Connecticut, who brings up something that has been something I've been talking about for the last week or so about the Giants. What's up, Griff?
Griffster.
Hey, guys. I have a person I think the Giants should target that won't cost a lot, and I think he wants out of where he is right now. Jerry Jeudy wants out of Cleveland. There's no doubt he wants out of Cleveland. There's no way he still wants to be there. He is having a not Jerry Jeudy type season, and I think if he goes to the Giants, I don't think it'll cost a lot, and I think it'll actually change him completely because he goes to somewhere where he has confidence that already you have Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterboo that believes in what they're doing. I think if he goes there, he'll change and he'll be back to who Jerry Jeudy is. I think that could be a good pickup for the Giants.
That's an interesting name. Now, he's on the injured. He's been injured. He hasn't practiced this week. Something to keep an eye on. You got to feel like he's probably miserable there right now, right? I don't know if there's availability, but when you're the Browns and you're at the point they're at, which, by the way, how did moving Joe Flacco look? You saw the Tomlin was even critical of them moving on from Flacco after that performance last night. But Jordan Renan was on the morning show, guys. It's something I want to get into coming up because it's something even Jordan admitted that he didn't think the Giants were going to be buyers this season. But what Jordan talks about makes it clear to me that there's something to watch with the Giants before the trade deadline, because and this weekend's game could be the difference maker. So we'll hear from Jordan. We'll get more calls at 800-919-3776. More on the Giants and the Broncos and the expectations of this game. You come off a win over the Eagles. Of course, you're flying high, no pun intended. And you get a game like this. Guess who you face again? The Eagles. Yep. This might be the most hype a New York football team is going to have this season.
Great point.
Well, let's see what we can get out of it. So your calls and more coming up. We will get to the Jets. Aaron Glenn still defending Justin Fields and more. It's a Football Friday. Stay with us. Don Hahn, Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
To help those who want to be helped but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
Score or win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at Amazon.com/PickupMVP. That's Amazon.com/PickupMVP.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Let me tell you about my friends at Bath Fitter. They remodeled the bath by my pool. They converted a tub into a shower. The result is amazing. Bath Fitter offers all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit. It's done in one day, easy to clean, and durable with no demo or mess, and it costs less than a standard replacement. Plus, a lifetime guarantee. Right now, you get no money down, no payments, or interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bath Fitter.
It's another big weekend on the Fine Line. Join one of the nation's top sports betting analysts, Joe Wiz. Saturday at 8 a.m. The Wiz talks about all the big games, including USC at Notre Dame and number 5 Ole Miss taking on number 9 Georgia. In the NFL, the Rams take on the Jaguars in London, and Jackson Dart and the Giants are in Denver. Plus, the Wiz talks baseball, hockey, soccer, and yes, the Knicks are back. Follow the Wiz on Instagram at Joe Wiz Sports. It's the best bet in town. The Fine Line with the Wiz Saturday at 8 a.m. Be ready to win.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
And now it's time for traffic. Here's Brandy Scott.
Hey there, guys. Good afternoon and happy Friday, but not a happy ride if you're trying to leave Queens over at the Triborough Bridge. Big crash on the Grand Central westbound right after the BQE, blocking 2 lanes. Traffic is at a standstill from Citi Field. Already packed on the Staten Island Expressway westbound, heading over to the West Shore, hitting the brakes there and backed up across the Verrazano onto the westbound belt in Brooklyn from Flatbush Avenue. All of your approaches the outbound George already jammed. Cross Bronx westbound, crawling from the Bruckner on through. Inbound George, roadwork on the upper deck, about a 20 to 30 minute ride. Outbound Lincoln Arnie, about 15 to 20. Outbound Hahn, 30 to 40. This report is sponsored by the Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Well, the PCA can help. It's a national nonprofit developing better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. More info at positivecoach.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Every aspect of your business will operate better and faster with artificial intelligence. AI is a race, and companies that act first will win. Thrive Managed AI is your advantage over all your competitors. Thrive partners with you on a smart, secure AI strategy for your business. Then they deploy and manage it for you. Be first and win the race with Thrive Managed AI. Start with a complimentary strategy consultation at thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. That's thrivenextgen.com/ESPN.
Tailgate season is on, and Monster Energy flavors are bringing the heat. Crack open the wickedly creamy citrus blast of Orange Dreamsicle, or ride the shockingly smooth wave of Electric Blue. Both packed with real sugar, bold flavor, and that legendary Monster kick. This is the energy your game day deserves, so grab your can and unleash the beast.
This college football season, show your school spirit every time you pay. Introducing college-branded Venmo debit cards. Rep your team on and off the field with custom school designs that let everyone know who you root for. Whether you're tailgating, grabbing snacks for the watch party, or celebrating a win, you can unlock 15% cash back at ESPN. 1 free year of Perplexity Pro and more. This college football season, score more with the Venmo debit card. Get yours now in the Venmo app. Learn more at venmo.com/collegecard.
Max cashback varies. Terms apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank, N.A.
Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, fellas, coverage of the American League Championship Series Game 5 immediately following us right here on 880. That'll be followed by the National League Championship Series Game 4 coverage. You can hear the NLCS Game 4 in its entirety on 1050. And we will have preseason basketball as well tonight as the Knicks will host the Hornets at 7:30. And that's why Alan Hahn's looking gorgeous in a suit. Final preseason game. It's a celebration. They're going to have confetti come down that this is finally over and we can get the regular season going on Wednesday.
Let's just get regular season. We have Wednesday, baby, and that's when we got our show at Stout. Don't forget, everybody.
And
3 o'clock at Stout, right on 33rd Street, right by the Garden, to get you ready for the Knicks season opener on Wednesday. Come join us.
And the Nets will be visiting the Raptors at 7 o'clock. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Enjoy Tullamore Dew responsibly. You heard Peter mention, and Alan, we got to condense things. We're off at 6 o'clock because of the baseball, so we still have to do Fraud Alert Friday at 4:30. We still have to do the announcer lineup, and we got to get your calls in at 1-800-919-3776. But Alan teased this about the possibility of getting a wide receiver. And it's a good suggestion to bring in Jerry Jeudy from
Cleveland.
Who was it called? Cleveland. What did I say?
Sorry. The Browns. No, you're fine.
He's got like $58 million guaranteed contract that runs through 20. The Giants aren't dancing there. But there are the possibilities of getting some wide receivers that are, I think, a little bit more affordable. But Jordan Raanan was on the morning show today discussing the possibility about that and was asked flat out, will the Giants trade for a wide receiver?
I do believe they are going to make a move. The more you talk to people, they just seem interested. They seem motivated to make a move. Now, I don't know if it's necessarily going to be as high a level move as people expect at this point. I think by the time they get down to it, it'll probably be a little bit lower because these guys are going to be hard to pry away from other teams. And I think so maybe more like a mid-round receiver, mid-level receiver is more realistic. But we'll see.
But Jordan doesn't think
mid-level makes sense, right?
I think it does, but Jordan says he doesn't think they should do it.
This is just my opinion on the subject. I just don't think that they're in a spot where they need to get a receiver now and give up an asset to go get a receiver. They're in a spot right now where Jackson Dart, it's about developing him, right? He needs to learn how to read the field, read defenses, whether he is a receiver or not. You're basing it on results now. Results isn't about the development there. And sure, if they win this game, it's a different conversation, right? You go into Denver, you win this game, you're now at 3-4. Now wins actually matter. Hey, why not try to win some games at the same time? And then if you get a receiver, have a guy who's signed after this year. But right now, 2-4, ridiculously hard schedule, giving up an asset doesn't make sense to me.
Let me just say something about Jordan. You know how I love him, respect him. I'm
Go ahead.
in the middle of his book, which I think is fabulous. I always get upset when people say when they shoot down a trade before you find out what the trade is.
Yeah.
I don't know what the assets are. Maybe they get the mid-level wide receiver. It's a 6th-round pick. I don't know. Wouldn't you do it then? Now, if you tell me I wouldn't give up a 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th-round pick for a mid-level wide receiver, now I can understand your logic. But to just shoot down the possibility of getting wide receiver because of quote-unquote assets, and you don't know what those assets are, I just think is foolish. Let's find out what they would have to give up.
I completely agree there. And in him saying a mid-level guy too, Don, that also suggests that, look, Griffin said Jerry Jeudy. I entertained it because it allowed us to get into the conversation. You're right. I don't think they're aiming for that. But it doesn't mean you don't want to bring in a player who can help you, especially with Neighbors out. And I also, though, agree with Jordan in this. Let's see what this week looks like before you entertain those types of moves. But if in the outside chance, which there isn't a great chance, all things considered, the Giants shouldn't win this game, right? They shouldn't. But if they do, how do you not think to yourself, okay, that's 3 quality wins now for this team? You need to invest in this season just because you want to get the most out of it and build that momentum going forward. An asset, what are we talking about asset? 5th-round pick, 6th? Stop. Let's not get caught up in that.
Let me add to that too, Alan. I would argue that, in a weird way, Jordan was arguing against himself because he's saying, hey, don't go get a receiver when it should all be about the development of Jackson Dart. Don't you think another good receiver is going to help the development of Jackson Dart?
1,000%.
Of course, because if he doesn't have anybody open, then he might take a sack or throw an interception because he's trying to force a ball. I want him to have options. If he's going to read defenses, I want him to be able to read defenses, give him the best chance to be successful.
Don, what do we do when we're running a franchise, right? Like we worry about the future, but we also have to consider the present and how important that is.
Mm-hmm.
And if we are trying to develop this quarterback, right, and there's a lot of season left. This is not like we're 4 weeks to go. This is right. You still have a ton of season to go. He's now established as your starter. This didn't take past Halloween. This didn't take to Thanksgiving like we thought it might. We thought this might not happen until December if things were going the way it should have gone, but it didn't. They went to him early. And then you lost Neighbors. If you don't lose Neighbors, if we have Neighbors on the field, I'm not looking for another wide receiver this season.
No.
But because you don't have Neighbors and you're very thin at that position, and we're now about two things, trying to see how many wins we can get with this team to start developing a winning culture, but also developing a quarterback that is relying on a running game right now, yes, and a good offensive line, but we're also trying to see if he can rely on quality wide receivers and open the game up. We see he's using his tight ends. So I think it behooves you as a general manager to look in the market and see what can we get that upgrades our position so we can continue to develop this quarterback properly instead of by the end of the season going, well, he struggled throwing because he had no talent around him and you didn't do enough for the quarterback. Development, you nailed it. It's not just about making the quarterback better. It's helping him improve by putting the best talent you can around him.
Now, the trade deadline is November 4th. So we're going into play, what's today, the 17th, so the games we played on the 19th, right?
Yep.
So that gives us 3 games before you have to make a decision. If you lose to Denver and you're 2-5, do you shut it down there or do you still give it another week?
Well, what did it look like?
See,
yeah,
of course.
Because if your offense sputters because he has no one to throw to and they're shutting down the running game, then I kind of keep saying to myself, I might need to upgrade that wide receiver position to help this kid. But if he's just running for his life and he's struggling, that's a different story completely. So I need to know what it looks like before I make that decision.
Because there's the two things. We all agree you do it just to do it to help your quarterback grow.
Yep.
And then there's doing it because you still want to honor the season and see if you can't find a way to sneak into the playoffs.
Yeah.
I believe if they lose to Denver at 2-5 with this schedule, they're not going to the playoffs. I still don't think they're going to the playoffs. But if they go to Denver and win, how do you rule it out? Especially
but you're
Dallas
willing to
beats
rule
Washington.
it out. You're willing to rule it out at 2-5.
Because now what does it look like, Peter? Like, you know, because now we're getting excited about a team that played 500 for a month.
Well,
You know,
let's say you dropped to 2-5. Let's have fun. Let's pretend, and I think this is still pretend, guys. I'm not as far down the road as Don is on the perils of Philadelphia, but let's suppose Philly is broken, as we've said.
And you beat them again.
You beat them again. You get
Now
to
you're
3-5. Now you get home San Francisco. All right. Oh, that's somehow they win that one. They're at 4-5. Then you go at Chicago. Hold the phone. But then after that, even if you go through that favorable run that we just made up to 5-5, which would be, let's be honest, guys, I would say you basically accomplished enough for the entire season if they made it to 5-5.
Oh, my goodness. You did parade time.
Yeah, exactly. Canyon of Heroes, okay?
What street in East Rutherford can the fans take to? And what's our 7th Avenue in East Rutherford? Well, Patterson Plank Road. They take the Patterson Plank Road.
Yes.
So even if you were to get there, that is then going to be followed up by home Green Bay, at Detroit, at New England, home Washington, home Minnesota. That's the 5 after that. So it's a journey.
Guys, they're not going to the playoffs. You know, come on. I'm a Giant fan. I love this team. I'd love nothing more than to see this team go to the playoffs. How are you supposed to go to the playoffs?
Let me throw something at you. How about this? What do you think of this take? Win, lose, or draw. If Jackson Dart doesn't have like a terrible comeback to earth week.
Sign me up.
You're signing up for that.
Yesterday.
Anthony, was that on the air? Or are you saying it's
No, sign me up yesterday.
When he takes it to the air, that's conviction.
So you totally agree that if you can just have a week with Dart where he looks pretty good against a team this good, you feel really good about that.
This was a hard schedule with a good team.
Yep.
And I don't think anybody's calling the Giants at the present moment a good team.
Right.
So we're in a situation where you've already gotten to the point where we thought we were going to be at week 10. Jackson Dart's playing.
Well,
if I see improvement from Jackson Dart every week,
Right.
even if they're not winning these games, there's going to be some 32 to 28 losses in here somewhere.
Right. You're taking that.
I'll take that.
Because there's very easily a world, and I'll continue to play the role of let's slow down on Jackson Dart guy. There is very easily a world, Don, where this is by far the ugliest performance that we'll get from him. This could be a very tough week.
No, this statistically is the most challenging game for him early on in his career because of what Denver does.
Yes. Now, I got to tell you, if he plays well the rest of the year, like Anthony just mentioned something. Oh, well, what if they go out and they lose 31-28? I'm gonna get mad as a Giant fan that the defense played that poorly. This defense is supposed to be pretty good, right? You've got an amazing pass rush. Like that would kind of tick me off if they get quality starts from Dart and it's still losing games. Like I don't think they're making it because how is this kid going to navigate through some of those defenses, some of these road games, some of these really good experienced teams? But if you're telling me that he's going to play, let's pick the game, right? If he plays like he did against the Chargers, if he plays like he did against Philadelphia, the rest of the year, and they lose a bunch of games because of coaching and because of defense, I'm going to be ticked off. I'm cool if they lose because of the quarterback. He's a kid. But if this defense gets lit up and they're the reason they don't make the playoffs, I'm going to be red hot.
Yeah, I completely agree. When you said that about 30, when you said the 31-28 thing, I'm going, well, they better not lose games like that.
Minute.
Like they need to lose games.
But they already have. We've seen it. It literally happened.
Well, I know.
To a bad Saints team.
It's not a good thing. But
No.
you would think as the season goes on, this defense has got to start playing up to potential. But, if you're losing games because you can't get to 20 points – because your quarterback is running for his life or struggling or can't hit target, whatever it is, or just not seeing it. Defenses are now starting to pick up what to do against him because there's a lot of tape now. Oh, that's a totally different story. But you know what else you want? I want him finishing the season, guys, healthy. No more headbutts with Scatterboo, man.
Well, yeah.
You know what? And Vegas is telling you. I'm going to tell you what Vegas is saying.
Okay.
Vegas is saying this game is. Let me see what the total is. 40. Vegas is saying this game is like 27-10. That Vegas to me says it's a relatively low-scoring game in which Denver wins pretty easily. Because Denver's not a great team, guys. That 7.5-point number means Vegas doesn't see the Giants doing a lot in Denver.
It's 21-10, 21-6. Like
something like not
14-6.
Like a perfect 4:05 nap game if you're not a Giants or Broncos fan.
And the NFL knows when they're scheduling a game 4:05, they're telling you, don't watch it.
Yeah,
We don't do this often. You guys taking the over or the under?
I go under at 40.
Well, if you like the Giants, you better go under. Fair?
No.
No?
No.
If
I agree with
you like
Peter.
the Giants, you go
take
over.
the over. That means your offense is producing.
That means the offense produces.
Yep.
I think the offense doesn't produce. It goes under.
Let me redefine the question. I'm not saying win. I'm saying against the spread.
Oh, well.
To cover?
Yeah.
I could see them covering and it's still going under. 20. Listen, 23-16 is a cover. Under.
But Anthony brought up the Saints game because it did happen. What was I mad at after the Saints game? I wasn't mad at Dart.
No, the turnovers.
I was mad at the turnovers and the defense. Needed to play better. They didn't have one sack in that game.
It's a 7.5-point spread, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
23-16 would not be a cover.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
What do you mean? Yes, it would. Under. I said it would be.
You said it would cover and under. A 7.5-point spread that hit the under, but 7.5 that Broncos would not cover.
23. No. Oh, I meant the Giants covering. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Ew. So Don, you're saying if Denver covers, this is complicated. Is that what you were asking?
I'm just saying that if you like, let's say you feel
that's how
like
I took it. That's why I was.
You feel like the Giants are going to cover, then I would bet the under.
I feel like I'd bet the under no matter what.
Probably.
This game just smells like an under.
But I think if you're going over, it's because Denver killed the Giants. Giants aren't going to score a ton of points against this defense, even if they play well.
Yeah, fair. But I could see that going both ways. What if this is the true breakout performance for this Giants defense?
Well, listen, listen. You get
Abdul
me.
Carter has a hamstring. He's questionable.
Yeah, I don't love that.
Aren't we all?
Right out of the gate, don't love that.
All right, we've got our picks coming up a little bit later on. We got to wedge all this in before 6 o'clock because we're still going to give you the announcer lineup.
And I want to tell you guys after the break.
Yeah.
Yesterday I experienced something that many people experience in life. I'd say most parents experience it at least once, and I had to experience it yesterday, and it wasn't a joy.
No, it wasn't?
Was not.
I think I know. I think I know what this is.
It was not a joy.
Well, we've got that to look forward to and more. It's Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg till 6, and then playoff baseball on ESPN New York.
Mornings with DiPietro and Rosenberg.
This is the greatest feeling in the world.
He can run. He can run all the way to the end zone. Touchdown.
This is why you watch.
Finds an open man. Robinson's going to go all the way for a touchdown.
You want energy? I'll open my butt cheeks and give you energy today. Oh, my God.
DiPietro and Rosenberg. Morning 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Dropped right down the chimney by Justin Fields to Garrett Wilson, and the Jets have the lead. Be at MetLife Stadium for the Jets and the Panthers on Sunday, October 19th at 1 p.m., presented by JetBlue. Get to the game early and secure the game giveaway, a JetBlue Jets plane magnet while supplies last. Lock in your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. Once again, that's nyjets.com/tickets.
D'Agostino, law, bite back. I'm injury attorney John Ryan D'Agostino, nicknamed The Closer, continuing D'Agostino and Associates' legacy of helping the injured for over 35 years. My father, John D'Agostino, built this injury firm to help accident victims.
This is John D'Agostino, and this is a family firm. For us, it's about doing what's right and making sure somebody pays for your pain. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-BITE-BACK.
They call me The Closer because big or small, in court or out, I'm fighting to get the job done, to win, to get you every dollar you deserve.
D'Agostino and Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there and I'll be there for you. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
There's nothing the voice in our head obsesses over like our health. But with over 100 lab tests and insights, Function can help answer the questions like, why am I so tired all the time? How can I get better sleep? My friend was telling me about magnesium gummies she takes. How do I even know if my heart is work stress affected? It's time to up my cardio. If my mom has something, how would I find out? It's time to get some blood work done. A Function membership gives you a comprehensive health check with results tracked over time. Find out what you're made of at functionhealth.com.
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question. If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next-day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here, Doc. Can I run payroll too?
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football. It's a pepper thing.
In the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports, ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
This fall, don't sit on the sideline because of pain. If you're tired of waking up stiff, fighting neck, back, or joint pain, and missing out on the things you love, it's time to take action. Call Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain, New Jersey's top pain specialist. Dr. Shaw is an Ivy League trained, double board certified, and laser focused on one thing: getting you back in the game. Living pain-free, no surgery, no cuts, no downtime. Just precise image-guided treatments that deliver real results. Whether it's sciatica, nerve pain, migraine, or chronic joint pain, Dr. Shaw will personalize a non-surgical game plan just for you without pain medication. Same day and next day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. Most major insurances are accepted, so what are you waiting for? Don't let pain keep you out of the action this season. Visit Sandwell Pain to text, call, or book online. You'll wish you met Dr. J. Shaw a lot sooner. Relief starts today, and victory over pain is closer than you think.
Well, football is completely whack. You watched the game last night, and the combined age, what was it, 43 or 83 of quarterbacks
80, yeah.
Slinging the ball all over the place, and we've had quarterbacks the last decade that couldn't do that at a decent age.
You know, it's funny. Both those guys played for the Jets.
I know, right? and didn't play a lot like that last night when they were wearing the green and white. But Peter, you had an incident.
I had an incident, and I want to tell you about that. I did watch the game last night, and I did have a thought, though, about why it was so – Flacco must have been so happy to get to Cincinnati, because I realized you could be a completely decrepit. It helps when you have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Getting a new offense when you're an old man, you can sling it to someone who can catch it is useful. Now, so I was watching the game on my flight to Orlando. And I'm going to tell you something, guys. You get an interesting crowd on the old LaGuardia to Orlando flight. LGA to ORD. It's an interesting crowd. Mm-hmm. For a variety of reasons, some of which I'll tell you off the air.
General soreness.
Yeah. But last night, for the first time, it was flight number 5 for Maya. And naturally, because it's America in 2025, our flight was delayed from 9 to 11.
Shocking.
And so Maya screamed in misery for an hour and 42 minutes of the 2 hours.
I knew it. I had a feeling this was coming just by the tone of your voice when you were teasing it. We've all been there.
Man, it is.
Yep.
It's just we did everything there was. It's just it's my fault. It's my schedule's fault. This was not the best time to travel, but when I thought we were leaving at 9, I thought it could work. When all of a sudden that becomes 11, and now you've been sitting in the airport that whole time, and now you're not landing till 1, Maya, who's naturally such a good little kid, she went into full meltdown, can't handle it. You know, Alan, that tired to the point of just hysterical.
Screaming.
No sleeping, just screaming.
Yep.
And
you try everything. You walk
everything.
with her. You do it all.
I changed her I brought her to the bathroom. I was proud of myself. I changed her on the little changing table in an airplane bathroom, which is not a treat. Natalie walked up and down the aisle. We did everything there was to do. We fed her. We had to. We get off the plane. She might have been off the plane for 3.5 seconds before she stopped crying. Not a peep.
And then passed out.
Yeah, and then eventually. But then we got back to the room, and even back in our hotel, guys, she's still wired like a maniac. She not in a bad mood, just wide awake till 3 a.m. And now she's at Disney World. I think dead asleep on a stroller.
I'm sure everybody was very patient, though, and understanding.
And by the way, you know how I watched the game last night, in case you're wondering? This may come as a surprise to you. I watched it on Amazon.
Of course you did.
Yeah, because Amazon's a part of my life. Of course, I have Amazon. And do you know about Amazon Pickup? It's the ultimate convenience play, okay? Much more convenient than an infant screaming on a plane. Amazon Pickup is the opposite, all right? It's joy. It's calm. It's peace. They send your orders directly to a secure pickup location that works for you. All right, Amazon lockers, they're located near you no matter where your day takes you. You could be running around like me from LaGuardia to Orlando, back to the Upper West Side, no matter where your schedule takes you. If you're living a crazy life like I am, trust me, Amazon Pickup will give you flexibility to get your packages, all right? So it's simple. When you order online at checkout, you choose the pickup location that's most convenient. You'll get an email confirmation when it's ready with instructions to pick it up. It's quick, it's secure, and it's always at no extra cost. Check it out for yourself. Go to Amazon.com/pickupmvp to learn more. That's Amazon.com/pickupmvp.
Margot and Jalen, the only time I remember that there was a problem was we were out to eat, and they were still in the car seat. You lift the car seat up, you can put them in the restaurant, and they cried. They cried through most of the meal.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple walks by us to leave, and the woman is an older woman, maybe a little bit older than me. Thanks for ruining my dinner.
No, she didn't.
And it took. I was going to get up, right, and follow them out into the parking lot.
Older woman too, who should know better,
and say to her, "I'm going to punch your husband in the face because I can't do anything to you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he married you."
And
he's now taking this responsibility.
Right. And he let you say that.
But no, Nancy's like, no, don't do. I was like, I was just so infuriated. Like, you really think I want this? You know?
That I got to tell you, I have to be honest. I felt it was an interesting group of characters on that flight from LaGuardia to Orlando. And I have to tell you, I felt nothing from anyone. No one gave any. Everyone knows you're suffering through it, and everyone's been there at some point.
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to do?
The only comments I ever got, Peter, when it did happen is like sympathy. Like, you're not bothering, everything's fine, because they get it, Everybody's been in that situation. Nobody wants to go through that.
The one experienced parent that leans over and just goes, "This too shall pass."
Yeah, exactly.
They'll say that to you like knowingly. We've all been there.
No, I said to Natalie at one point when we're about to get off the plane, and she's still patting her pretty hard. I looked at her, I went, "Baby, it's over. We ruined the flight. Everyone already dealt with it. They heard the crying for 2 hours. Let her be. Just let her scream it out. Stop working. We're almost home. Okay."
It's the Hootie song, "Let Her Cry."
Let her cry. and then I get to my car rental, guys, and for some reason I don't know why Avis gave me this. They gave me a brand new Wagoneer.
Okay.
Natalie looks like she's an Uber black driver. It's gigantic. Wow. I mean, this should be my business on the weekend. You could fit 30 people in this thing. It's like I'm driving a Sprinter van. Beautiful car, though, by the way.
I thought you were going to get the family truckster.
And by the way, it's Truckster Plus.
All right, we've got a big show. We got to condense now to 2 hours because the first hour is now done. Again, how did Jet fans feel about watching two former Jets, battle it out on national television last night? And we've, of course, got Fraud Alert Friday coming up at the bottom of the hour. We've got our picks coming up at 5:45. We're taking up until 6 o'clock right here on Hahn and Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
To help those who want to be helped but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
Long Island is brewing some spooky fun at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. We're celebrating this October for our $50,000 Witchy Wednesdays drawing. Be here on Wednesday, October 1st, 15th, and 29th from 3 to 7 p.m. when 2 winners will be drawn every hour to pick a witch's hat and win up to $5,000 cash. Club members can conjure up to 5 times entry multipliers. Fly over to where Long Island wins at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Don't take slow for an answer. Not so easy when you're stuck in traffic. But mere inches from someone else's bumper, you can dream of faster things. Like Optimum Fiber, the fastest and most reliable fiber internet, starting at $40 a month. So while you can't always switch lanes for a faster route, you can switch providers for a faster connection. Optimum. Don't take slow for an answer. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com/fiber today. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
Hey, it's Reese Davis. Let's be honest, we can't keep an eye on everything. Unless you've got Blink Outdoor 4 cameras. While you're focused on the game, Blink's keeping an eye on your home.
With up to 2-year battery life and with Sync Module XR, you can cover more space without constant maintenance. No wires, no worries. Blink helps keep an eye on what matters most. Get Blink today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
So last night just shows you football. I don't even know why we bother doing picks. A 5.5-point favorite, essentially, getting killed, and it ended up becoming a great game, and Cincinnati wins the game 33-32. Just hard to believe that these two quarterbacks can go out there and play to the level that they played, right? And I just wondered, what would the Jets' record be if they kept Aaron Rodgers?
Well, they would have won the Pittsburgh game.
Well, the Pittsburgh game's tough because Rodgers was part of that, right?
That's why I said it.
So it's a double whammy.
Because you have the better quarterback in the game now, because you don't know who their quarterback would have been.
But Fields played well in that game, though. So,
well, would it have been Fields for them? Would it have been?
Right. Yeah, it's tough to say, but it was a close game. Yeah,
give him Tampa though. He's good for 3 points.
You got to beat Tampa, and you would have beaten Denver, right?
And you would have beaten Denver because you would have gotten to that line. Yeah.
And by the way, I'm giving him the Miami game. I know that game was ugly from beginning to end. I put so much of that game on Fields, man.
Was so bad.
There was never hope with their offense, Allen, that entire game.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
I know the defense was bad
too. They couldn't stop a nosebleed. That defense.
No, you're right. But remember, the reason Don still was sticking with the Jets is because as bad as the defense was, Miami didn't do anything special. They stuck around.
Yeah, they let him stick around too. Yeah. I just, what's amazing though, watching that game, I had to remove the Jet aspect of it because, just watching Flacco alone was like, they had him here. But what I was watching, as we talk so much about quarterback play in the NFL, how important it is, how you're trying to find quarterbacks, and you see two guys that really, although Rodgers is still fairly mobile for his age coming off Achilles, but it's two guys that don't want to get hit at their age, don't want to have to run and scramble a lot, but are dead on balls accurate when they throw the football, and they have the IQ and the experience to know exactly where the play is. And, I mean, Flacco just stays calm. Does he ever look panicked? Like that, those I don't know, that's not teachable stuff, man. But the accuracy part, quarterback play is all about that. That's got to be, if not one, it's two in most important aspects to have. Not the legs and the speed and all this other stuff. No, accuracy. That is got to be top two of the traits you need to be a good quarterback in the NFL.
And listen, I can't prove any of this because who knows what would have happened had Rodgers stayed. All right, maybe he would have gotten hurt again, whatever. But just looking at the lack of quarterback play has to be a major contributor to the fact that they're 0-6. I mean, that performance last week was one of the worst performances in the history of the NFL. So any other quarterback probably would have won that game against Denver. So you could say to yourself, well, what's the difference between 0-6 and 2-4? You're still not a good football team. Well, the Giants are 2-4, and they're coming off a big win, and people are excited.
Yep.
And it takes the heat off of your newbie head coach. I've always believed the theory was take the expectations away from Glenn. If Aaron Rodgers is here, there'll be expectations that they wouldn't live up to and everybody would kill Glenn. Well, what do you have now? You have a non-functioning offense. Everybody's still killing Glenn, right? And now your coach doesn't have any kind of experience on the offensive side of the ball to help navigate through this. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to double, triple, and quadruple down on the fact that I think they made a huge mistake letting Rodgers go. It was all just an optic. It was all just new sheriff in town. We're not going to take his garbage anymore. My owner hates him and wants to banish him. Well, you banished him to Pittsburgh where he's going to go to the playoffs. Good job. Not exactly Siberia. You're Siberia. He did him a favor. But all of this to make things easier for Aaron Glenn, and you could make the case it's made it harder because now he has no quarterback, he has no offense, he has no wins. So even at 2-4, not that big of a difference, but it's a hell of a difference when you're talking about how your head coach looks and the optics of it all. And yeah, maybe there would be undue expectations. All right, so what? Isn't it better than this? Where your head coach is being raked over the coals and everybody thinks he's the worst thing that's ever happened to the Jets, and that's saying something.
Let me push back on one thing, though, Don. And
Go ahead.
I'm not disagreeing with you, okay? Because what you're saying is the sane, logical take as usual, right? But what I'm saying, what a lot of fans would be saying. Now, again, we have the value of knowing what happened, meaning 0-6, right? So that's a benefit to us that we know what it looks like without Rodgers. But you can't pretend that we know that with Rodgers. So you're saying 2-4 at best. And I promise you, fan base would say, we're in purgatory. There's no future at this quarterback. We're not going anywhere. It's a waste of time. We're not going to be able to play ourselves into a top pick to get a great quarterback. And we got a 49-year-old guy that isn't going to be here long term. That's what that's what it's going to be about. Because if you keep Rodgers, it's because you think you have a team that can make the playoffs, and that's a drought you're trying to end. But if you don't think you're going to make the playoffs, you don't keep a guy like that around. Well, and that's why 0-6 is so ugly, and Fields has been bad, so it's easy to say that. You get what I'm saying? But we can't assume that we already know that and that it's better to be 2-4. But I get it. I get what you're saying. It's logical, but we can't assume that having Rodgers at 2-4 still doesn't have some complications with it, which include what's the future of a team that is pretty much you're spinning your wheels.
Okay,
you're not a playoff team.
Well, aren't you doing that now? Except instead of a 41-year-old quarterback, it's a 26-year-old quarterback.
No, you're not spinning your wheels. You're going right in a hole.
But, all right, you're going in a hole, but my point is that you're going in a hole and you're taking your head coach with you. All right, everything you're saying is correct.
They knew that, though.
Everything you're saying is correct.
The only light at the end of the tunnel is the fact that you think you might have a high enough pick to draft one of the top quarterbacks in the draft next year and start your rebuild from there.
All right, so the part of this whole thing was we don't want to win games.
We knew that. We knew that.
Well, what I'm getting at is that clearly that was the case, that winning was not the priority. But again, you're talking about the optics. You're talking about the heat that the fans would give. Like, we got Aaron Rodgers. We've got no future. He may not even play next year if we don't sneak into the playoffs.
If you're 4-2, you go with it because it's, Aaron Rodgers is producing and you can make the playoffs. But 2-4, it's a totally different story. Now you're like, what the hell? What are we doing? Why
went into this, but I'm saying you went into this season. Your modus operandi, unless you're going to tell me they were tanking for a quarterback, and that might end up being a huge mistake because there may not be a quarterback in this draft.
That's true.
But if all this year was supposed to be was to let's give Aaron Glenn the best chance to be successful here, okay, in this first year. So let's tamp down expectations. If you had Aaron Rodgers, if you're 2-4, fans be frustrated because you don't have a quarterback for the future. Yeah, you're not that closer to making the playoffs, but maybe a lot of the shade would be away from Glenn.
After that, Don, and first of all, you said 2-4. I think 3-3 is absolutely on the table.
Okay, 3-3, sure. Now you're 3-3.
Let's call it 3-3, and then that's fine. Even if the season ends up being whatever it would be, Don, I think you're right. I think then what you bought from Glenn was, all right, we got to look at him. He's pretty good. Oh, now we move on from Rodgers. Now he's starting. It's like he bought himself a year to get acclimated without the pressure. Now, guys, every week is going to be a nightmare of pressure for Aaron Glenn until he gets that first win.
3-3 with the fourth easiest remaining schedule is a much different feel. I'll give you that.
Now, You're right, Alan. Everything that you're saying is right, that there would have been this feeling, even at 3-3, if you didn't make the playoffs, there was a wasted year. Rodgers is going to retire, and now we don't have a quarterback.
Right.
But at least you might be able to say you got a coach. All right? And that was the whole deal here is I got a guy that signed a 5-year contract in his first year. He won a few games. All right, we didn't go to the playoffs or whatever, but now you're in the exact same situation you tried to avoid, right? Now you got no future at quarterback, but you've now dragged and sullied the beginning of the Aaron Glenn tenure.
Brian Daboll won Coach of the Year his first year and led the Giants to the playoffs. Were you bought in?
Well, Peter will tell you I thought it was kind of fugazi.
Why?
Because I just think that they could have very easily finished 7-9-1. But I was not down on Daboll, no. I was not. I thought that they had a coach. I didn't think the season was necessarily for real, but I was believing in my coach.
Look,
yes.
Right now, all it is it's semantics, but they chose this way because they just wanted to clear out a dominant personality in the locker room. That was the whole idea, and start the rebuild from the ground. That's what they wanted, and this is what they get for it: is they got to endure this, and this sucks. And I think they knew it. I think Glenn knew it. Don, you were on it from the very beginning, how it felt like everybody else was saying, I think they can win 7 games. I think they can do this, thinking that Justin Fields was better than he was. There are a lot of people that just thought Fields, the problem with Fields wasn't him. It was the Bears didn't know what they were doing, and the Steelers didn't give him the ball back when Russell Wilson took over and then was circling the drain towards the end of last season. They blame the Steelers for not giving Fields the ball back. Then we watch Fields play, and now you're going like, oh yeah, that's what happened. The Bears got a number 1 pick and said we're going to move on, and the Steelers said whatever Wilson's doing is still better than what we think Fields can do. So we're seeing it now. That's the reality.
Yeah,
they took a shot with a young-ish quarterback to see if they could strike. It didn't happen. Now they got to go to Plan B.
I just feel like everything that they did was to protect their head coach, and they completely failed him in every way. Everything they hoped would happen, the complete opposite happened.
No,
they tried to protect him, and now they exposed him.
You know there's no they. There's a he. All right, we know it's not a they.
Well, it's Woody.
This decision is made by a he. You know that.
But, what are you hearing people say? Like, because Aaron Glenn, I also think by design, he took ownership of a lot of this. So he didn't want Rodgers. He wanted Justin Fields. I just think all of this was – because everything's collaborative, guys, everything. All right, so anybody that thinks that Aaron Glenn was coming in here and he was making all of the decisions, that you don't know the history of the Jets. That does not happen with the Jets. I'm not saying he wasn't on board with all the decisions, but you don't come in here, you don't come into the Jets organization and start telling what's what, especially as a first-time head coach. Woody Johnson fired Robert Saleh, not Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
He's the one that wants everything to go his way, and I think he wanted to try to give Aaron Glenn be the face of this change, right? And that we're not taking it anymore. And I think there's a lot of things. Maybe he was on board with all of it, guys. I don't know. But I still believe it was a collaborative. I still believe in my heart that when Glenn sat down to do that interview, it was told to him Rodgers isn't coming back.
Yeah.
Are you on board with that? And you
Right.
think Glenn's going to say no?
I do think that was a part of it. I think if he got some advice from Parcells probably said it's what you want. You want to get a guy like that out of the room because you don't want him undermining things you're trying to do in the front of the room that he'll do in the back of the room. There's a lot of that stuff that I think was at play here. But look, I said this the other day. I'm going to repeat it for every Jet fan that thinks they should have hired somebody else. No one wanted the job. They did bring people in. No one wanted the job. This is a toxic situation here right now. And so you got to keep that stuff in mind. No one wanted to be the OC here. No one. It was very difficult for them to hire an experienced staff. Steve Wilkes, a guy that's been on 7 teams in 7 years. I mean, like you got to keep that in mind. But Don, what I'm concerned with Aaron Glenn is less about that stuff and protecting him, and more about the fact that at the podium he went from a guy that talked tough to a guy that's doing a lot of like Aaron Boone, pumping up his players, protecting his players, talking up his players. And you could tell that he knows that he is right now handcuffed to Justin Fields. He didn't take him out at halftime when everybody in the world said he should have of that game in London. But how about, like, again, the criticism of Fields not getting rid of the ball, not getting the ball out quicker, and there was more discussion of it. And Aaron Glenn, if you listen to this, he just, like, he meanders through explaining it while defending him once again. Listen.
I know that's a huge topic that everyone talks about, but sometimes there's a lot that goes into that. And when you look at the time he gets the ball out, some of those have been some of his best games when he's holding the ball, 3 seconds or whatnot. And it's who he is, and sometimes it's play calls and the way that he sees things. And I'm not sitting here saying that he doesn't get the ball out. There's some quick game, where the ball has to come out, and you work on those in practice. But there's also an element of, and we know who that player is. You look at Lamar, I think Lamar, his numbers getting the ball out is higher than Justin's. I think Josh Allen's numbers are higher than Justin's. But I think everybody tends to see who those guys are and understand that. And for some reason, they don't understand Justin. But listen, I'm not sitting there saying that there's some times where he got to get the ball out. He knows that. He articulated that to you guys. And we're going to continue to work on that as much as we can.
So wait a minute. So Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson also hold the ball a little bit longer, but no one criticizes those guys. Guys, why do you think that is?
I don't know. They're all equal. That's the thing. When Josh Allen, Justin Fields, Lamar Jackson, same player, except two of them get so much credit and one just doesn't get it.
But
for no reason, right? It has nothing to do with results.
No, not as far as I can tell.
How can you miss that? Like, do you really think people are going to buy that? Oh,
No.
well, listen, they don't criticize Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, so you get those names out of your mouth. All right, your quarterback just performed worse than anybody maybe in the history of football. All right,
take a knee. Just take a knee.
Don't start throwing in a 2-time and very easily could have been a 3-time MVP in Lamar Jackson. Right, he could have won it last year. All right, Josh Allen hasn't
he
won a
might
Super Bowl.
still come back and win it. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
right.
how good Lamar Jackson is.
You don't think if he comes back healthy and they win this division, that's not on the table?
Exactly.
Right? So, come on. Listen,
I
like him
he's
a
got to
lot.
sit it out. He's got to sit
Dude,
these out.
well,
Like,
wait.
I know he's trying to defend him, but, man.
You got to coach him up, too. Like, I think, and listen, I'm biased because I worked there for 16 years. Jets have an amazing PR staff. Those guys work their tail off.
They have to.
Yeah. You got to talk to them and say,
Yeah, right.
dude.
They got to be the best.
This is you can't be doing that. All right, if you want to find some analytics or whatever, but nobody is going to buy.
Don't mention
they don't
Josh
criticize.
Allen.
And again, but he's also reverting back to the what does it matter what people are killing? Like, who cares? It is what it is. You're 0-6. All right, they're going to kill something. But even like going back to yesterday. Well, then if we threw the ball downfield, you'd criticize it got intercepted. Why are the media shouldn't even be part of the equation, right? You were disrespecting us at the start of the season, right, with all the stupid questions and acting like you didn't want to be bothered. Now all of a sudden you care what we think?
Yeah, you did that. That's again.
God,
This is rookie coach in New York mistakes that happen when you really don't like. He played here, but it doesn't mean it was a long time ago, right? It doesn't mean he has a feel for it. These are things that he'll. Well, as I said, I'm okay with developing a coach as well. If I feel like the coach has the type of foundation, if he's made up of the right stuff, I'll live through some of his own mistakes, whether it's on the field during a game or at the podium. He'll get better from this, I promise you.
Well,
right? But it's not a good look right now. No.
The one thing I will say, and I'm guilty of this too, is we'll always say, well, listen, he played in New York, so he knows what it's like. Yeah, he knows there's a lot of media, and he knows that there could be pitfalls. But as a player, Alan, Peter, if he didn't feel like talking to the media after a tough game, he just got dressed and left.
That's right.
I mean, nobody was sitting there,
Right.
banging on the PR's door saying, we need to talk to Aaron Glenn. He's not a quarterback. He's not the head coach.
It's not.
All right?
It's
now
true.
you're in Detroit, and I don't know how it works in Detroit. Usually maybe once a month the coordinators might be made available. In some places, coordinators are not allowed to talk to the media at all. So I'm sure in Detroit that probably has a fifth of the media that they have in New York. And because he was the defensive coordinator, probably never had to really to deal with it.
Well, you
the way
know
a
what?
head coach does. Now
Frankly,
he's got to talk Monday. He's got to talk Wednesday. He's got to talk Thursday. He's got to talk after the game on Sunday. It never
listen,
ends.
if you want to work at it, I think he should listen to this very brief ad I have from BetterHelp. All right, because think about it. October 10th was World Mental Health Day, and this year We're saying thank you, therapists. BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the U.S. You hear this, Aaron Glenn? This could be helpful. BetterHelp does the initial matching work for you so you can focus on your therapy goals. Fill out a questionnaire. You identify your needs and preferences, and then their 12-plus years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate. That means that they typically get it right the first time. Now, if you aren't happy with your match, you switch to a different therapist at any time from their tailored recommendations. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who've helped make millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our listeners get 10% off their first month. Just call pound 250 and say the keyword timeout. That's keyword timeout after calling pound 250. And we know, in the case of Aaron Glenn, he could call and say timeout, and he might still have an extra timeout in his pocket from the game before.
Yeah, they haven't instituted that rule yet, but I'm waiting for that to happen. Let's go to Bobby in Westchester. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Bobby?
Yeah, hi, Don and Alan. Alan, you mentioned nobody wanted the Jet job. Rex Ryan and I think Mike McCarthy both wanted the job.
Yeah,
Rex. I wanted.
You're right, Bobby.
Yeah.
I mentioned Rex the other day as somebody that was definitely an experienced coach who wanted the job, and the Jets, I think, kind of gave him a token response. I don't think he ever felt like they were serious about him. He wanted it really bad. And he was on a weekly with Bart and I last year, and he wanted the job badly, and he made it clear to us several times. In fact, there were a couple of times we interviewed him where he made the case of what he would do. So it's just I don't think they ever gave it I don't think they gave it a serious look at all.
Right.
That's the problem.
I think the better way to say it is that nobody wanted the job that the Jets wanted to hire. They didn't want to hire Rex. They didn't want to hire McCarthy. They didn't want to hire McCarthy back when Saleh was available,
right?
Back when Gase was available, they whatever reason they didn't want McCarthy,
right,
and they did not want Rex.
Right.
But of the candidates that they had written down, nobody was going to come here.
No, they
right?
were told no. Yeah.
And that's now why Rex would have been interesting, and McCarthy. Listen, I think he's not a Super Bowl coach, even though he's won one. He'd be a hell of a lot better than what they've hired recently. I'll tell you that.
At least he can run an offense. You know, it's funny. Rex was kind of like back and forth about the Aaron Rodgers thing too, because we would ask him like, you know, what would you do with Rodgers here? How would you handle Rodgers? And his whole thing was, no, I'd want him back because I want him to I want him to play at the high level. Like I want a guy, and I want to tell him we're going to do it my way, but we're going to have you in here. But the only way you're coming back is if you do it my way. That's what he was saying to us late last season, and instead it was they didn't want him at all.
I want to squeeze this one in quick. Ray in the Bronx. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Ray?
Good call.
Good evening, guys. How's it going?
What's up?
So, Alan, when following Don's story about his kids crying in the restaurant. And you said, all right, this lady was old enough. She should know better. What did you mean by that? Do you mean that she should have known better to not say what she said or feel the way she felt, or both?
Both. Because if she was an older woman, she understands children, right? You would think with that experience, you understand that this happens.
What if she never had kids and hated children?
It doesn't matter. Like you
still would have been around long enough.
You have friends that have kids. You just know.
So
that kind of response to parents who obviously have, it's tough. Like you're not helping the problem. You're making it about you, and you're being disrespectful. Right. That's all. That's not necessary.
No, I agree. I think socially that she did something that she shouldn't have done. Obviously, you don't say that. Period. But socially, it's incumbent upon the parents too. Sometimes to be proactive, right? If you have some people eating, and if you're at Outback Steakhouse, who cares? But if you're at a decent restaurant,
well, where were you, Don?
I was at a Charlie Brown's.
I don't know Charlie Brown's, but I'm willing to guess by the name that it wasn't a Michelin star restaurant, buddy.
Yeah, it wasn't
no
at Del Frisco's.
Napkins?
Okay,
you don't think so?
Then fine, but I think though, and guys, hear me out because I don't have children, so I'm in the minority of the population here. But it's still incumbent upon the parents sometimes to do something. Sometimes you're at a restaurant parents are just sitting around. The kids are just crying. Holy hell! They're doing nothing about it. They
That does
haven't,
happen.
Preempted anything. There aren't any coloring books. There aren't anything to distract.
That's a bad job.
kids.
Then you're right.
I'm going to go out on a limb.
Right?
And say, I'm going to believe, knowing Don as well as I know him, and I'm sure Nancy's the same. I don't imagine they were just sitting there pretending nothing was going on. I'm sure they were definitely self-aware.
But Ray, we're not talking about like my 7-year-old twins. We're talking about my twins were Maya's age. They were still like in the.
They were babies.
There's a car seat that comes out until it's like a baby seat that you can put that. So they're infants. Right. And it all started out well, and then they start crying, and the food's been ordered. Am I supposed to just eat it and leave? You do what you can. Coloring books aren't going to help when you're talking about 8-month-old kids.
But Don, that is a question. Is maybe the sociable thing to do? Maybe one of the two brings the kids outside.
So I will say that. Let me respond to that take. I will say this. Natalie and I have had 1 or 2 restaurant situations, particularly in Paris, and where we were out every night for every meal, 2 meals a day, out every day with the baby. There definitely were the days where one of us would enjoy the meal while the other one just left and walked around.
Yeah. I think that's socially responsible.
That
Peter.
does. Yeah. No. What you're saying is maybe Don and Nancy are heathens. Is what you're saying.
No. I'm not saying that, Don. That's Peter saying that.
No,
I'm not saying that.
If it was completely out of control, believe me, Ray, it was not that bad. It was bad, but it wasn't to the point. If it was hysterical, yeah, then you get up and you get out. That's ridiculous. But I didn't think it was terrible. But there were moments they were restless and they were crying, and you know what? The woman should have shut her mouth.
No, it's insane that she actually said that. I actually was. What's it called? I don't never know what the right word is. You know when something's happening, and in the back of your mind you're sort of fantasizing about like I wish someone would. Because fantasizing is the wrong word. I didn't want it to happen, but I was sitting there going, if someone comes up to me right now, like if we go to get off the plane and I heard people clapping, what would I do? Would I say anything? Well, what are you going to do? Even if people were rude, what do you do?
And you were in a situation. What are you going to do?
And wait till I tell you guys off the air. I'm going to text you guys. Wait till I tell you who on the flight said to us as we're about to leave, "Is there anything I can do?"
Okay.
Think about who I am, and think about what would surprise me, and I'm going to tell you during the break.
But coming up, I'm waiting for that text message. We're going to have Fraud Alert Friday. We got our picks coming up as well. We got to get out of Dodge at 6 o'clock because at 6 o'clock we've got the Mariners and the Blue Jays, big Game 5 of the American League Championship Series, and that'll be followed by an elimination game possibly for the Brewers. They're facing elimination against the Dodgers, all happening right here on ESPN New York.
Dropped right down the chimney by Justin Fields to Garrett Wilson, and the Jets have the lead. Be at MetLife Stadium for the Jets and the Panthers on Sunday, October 19th at 1 p.m., presented by JetBlue. Get to the game early and secure the game giveaway, a JetBlue Jets plane magnet while supplies last. Lock in your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. Once again, that's nyjets.com/tickets.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. Just a miserable ride out there on the roads, no matter where you're headed. Outbound George, lower level underneath the apartments. A big crash involving 5 cars. Going to run you over an hour on the Cross Bronx westbound from the Bruckner on through. Not much better on the West Side Highway northbound over in the 150s. Accident in the left lane. That is you crawling from the 50s on up. Inbound Georgia, about 15 to 20 for the upper deck. Lower level, about a 20-minute ride. Outbound Lincoln will run you about 45 minutes. Outbound Hull, now close to an hour. No relief on the Grand Central westbound, trying to leave Queens at the Triborough Bridge. Still have this big crash blocking 2 lanes right after the BQE. Traffic is stopped there from Citi Field. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Visit MAD.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talent acquisition at goodkarmabrands.com.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Get 1.9% financing on a new Mazda 2025 CX-50 or lease for $219 for 36 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for lease details. VIN SN 390557. MSRP $32,455. Zero security deposit. APR $17.48 per $1,000 financed. Ends 10/31/25.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply.
D'Agostino & Associates is a legacy firm, and I'm proud to be a part of that legacy. I'm Jenna D'Agostino, and like my father, I fight to get justice for the injured.
The hustle and grit of these streets shaped me. I'm John D'Agostino, and from the concrete to the courtroom, I built this injury firm 35 years ago to get accident victims justice. So call my team first, 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
You want justice? Think Jenna D'Agostino. Think D'Agostino & Associates. Justice isn't just a word. For us, it's a way of life. It's having compassion for your struggle and getting you paid for your pain. Now that's justice. D'Agostino & Associates means being there for the injured.
Seriously injured? Call my team first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222. D'Agostino & Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there, and I'll be there for you.
D'Agostino Law Bite Back.
Did you or someone you know participate in fraudulent fan behavior?
I'm a fraud with a capital F.
Is your friend a fraud?
I have been a complete and utter fraud.
Are you a fraud?
What is fraud?
Let's ask Don McGreca.
Screw! Go scratch yourself!
Oh, yeah. Fraud Friday. On this Friday, October 17th, very much a fall Fraud Friday. We are officially here, guys. It happened. Kind of felt like we were sticking in summer forever, but we're here now.
Supposed to walk. I'm here in 70s on Sunday.
On Sunday, yeah, man.
Yeah, that's. But let's be honest. A really nice Sunday when you say it's 70s means you're prime fall. That's what fall is. If you're going, ooh, it's going to go up to the 70s, that means we're living in fall times.
I might be in the pool again. I'm just saying.
At 70. Jumping right in. Don, is the pool still open?
Yes.
Still open.
Still open.
Now, is that still open with hopes of getting in?
No, I think it's just aesthetics at this point. Just it looks nice.
It does look, same thing.
Instead of seeing a tarp in the backyard. But
it
just
still
in
makes
case,
you feel good, right?
Just in case.
I'm telling you, Don.
Never know.
I'm gonna put the heater on Saturday.
How now? Could you get it?
Crank it up.
Could you crank that heat up high enough to go jump in if it was 70 and enjoy it?
86. We get it at 86. It's perfect. And when it's 86 and it's 70 out, it feels even better.
Yeah.
So it could be cool outside, like 70, and 86 is warm enough.
Oh
yeah.
By far, you step in, you walk in. It's beautiful. Trust me.
Like you dream
is
about.
It's when you get out. It's when you get out.
Right.
Because
you got to have the towels on deck.
You definitely want to make sure. There is a shrinkage thing you got to be aware of.
Whoa. That's not.
I wasn't even going
I'm
there.
not
Real
concerned.
thing.
I wasn't going to go. And how do you handle the shrinkage?
Yeah. Well, just in case you were wondering. Well, maybe you don't wonder, but for some of us, you do worry. You do worry about it.
Well, there's nothing to worry about except don't take your trunks off and you get out.
A filth bag. You're a sex-starved.
If you have a tradition, Don, it sounds like Alan has a tradition that he likes to get out of his pool and just pull the trunks right off for the world to see.
Sometimes the trunks are, because they're wet.
They slide right down.
Form-fitting, and it's...
and you don't want someone to see you and go, oh, Mrs. Hahn, what's going on?
The one thing that has never happened in the history of friction is a wet bathing suit falling off you.
Yeah,
Usually you can't get it
it's a
all.
Great point. It's a great point.
But what's happening is
he's revealing it.
It sticks. It does get stuck to you tightly. It does when it's wet, and
a Hahn pool party. Clothes are optional.
I know that's what it sounds like. Hell yeah,
it can happen.
I thought that's what Michael thought about pool parties.
Well, yeah, that's why Michael thinks it's weird.
Yeah.
You've heard that take, right, Alan?
I have not. What did you take?
Don and I would argue with Michael because Michael thinks it's weird for friends who have a pool to invite other friends who do not have a pool over to go swimming.
Well, isn't that the whole idea of having a pool party?
That's what
Yeah.
So that's what Don and I said was, most people, Mr. Privilege, don't have a pool.
Yeah.
So if you're lucky enough to have one and you got friends who like to swim, it's July 10th, it's 98 degrees, you want to come over and swim. Michael thinks that means it's a sex party.
Early in this, it was like last year, Nancy, best friend is Donna, and her husband Mark, and I've become very good friends with Mark. They don't have any children, but we invited them over to swim, and Michael thought that was weird.
So is it weird then, because we also have a hot tub, that in the winter we have friends over and we'll just chill out in the hot tub, have some wine?
No,
That's
with
weird?
friends?
Weird?
Well, hold on. Let me tell you something. If Michael thinks the pool is weird, then he thinks the hot tub is moments before it all goes down.
Right.
Like it's the last thing before it happens.
Oh, my goodness.
See?
I got to hear this.
No, he believes
I
this.
got to hear this.
It's funny. I did it this summer. My friend got a new house with a beautiful pool.
I'll tell you what. I think
the first week he had it, I went and we took
we
a
should
swim.
have we could have a pool party at my house for the show.
Love it.
And we could have we could use the hot tub. You come over in the winter. We'll all get in the hot tub. Bring the wives. We'll have a great time. And we'll take pictures and send them to Michael. And see
I
how
love
he feels about
it. You know what? It just goes to show you he's a filthy perv bag or whatever.
He thinks the hot tub thing, that's hedonism at its finest, right?
Yeah.
That's where he is.
No, friends never.
You're a filth bag. You're a sex-star filth bag.
That should be about Michael. That should not be about me. All right, here we go. Fraud Friday. My name's Nick. I currently live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I was born in New York City. And my father, a longtime New Yorker, raised me throughout my childhood and early adult years to be a fan of the Yankees, Knicks, and Jets, which I'm still a fan of to this day. In 2016, I started dating my wife, who was born and raised here in Charlotte.
Zipper key.
Her father has been a Carolina Panthers PSL owner since the team first came to Charlotte in '96.
Here it comes.
And it was tradition throughout my wife's childhood to attend Panthers games with him. I love this about our show. Like, I'm not kidding. This is me being nerdy. I love an email like this. Like, hearing about people's Panther traditions. Like, I didn't even know that. Of course that's a thing, but, like, I just would never know that.
Yeah.
When we started dating, I occasionally started going to games with my wife. And eventually, the PSLs were passed down to us. Over the last 9 years, going to Panthers games with my wife has turned into a tradition of its own and something we really enjoy doing together. With the amount of Panthers games I now attend, I have genuinely taken to the team and consider myself a fan. But I also continue to watch and cheer for the Jets. I do not consider my dual fandom of the Jets and Panthers to be fraudulent for the following reasons. 1, I have legitimate ties to both teams. 2, the teams are not rivals, have no significant history, and are in different conferences. 3, both teams have been terrible over the last 10 years, so there's no front-running involved. I'm just making myself twice as miserable. This Sunday, I will be rooting for the Panthers as they have a legitimate shot at playoff contention while the Jets have reached the point where they should be in full tank mode. Please let me know if you consider this behavior to be fraudulent. Nick.
Fraud. Because he still gave up on the Jets. I'm sure the Jets and the Panthers 80% of the time play at the same time. So if he's going and joining the Panthers, he's missing the Jets. So he's given up on the Jets. And I get it. They stink. You made kind of a lateral move, unfortunately, because the Panthers aren't much better. So he's not a front runner. I get that.
Interesting.
But he's still a fraud. You're a fraud because you gave up on your team, but you still claim you're a fan of the team. Well, you're not watching them. If they're both playing at 1 o'clock.
Don is the best. This is such a great take. He's
Don,
dead. He's dead right.
No,
and why not just own it? Just. I know it's hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Say goodbye to the Jets. I get it. You live in Charlotte. It's a beautiful city. The games are warm for 3 months. You got the tickets. Go be a fan of one crappy team. What do you need 2 for?
I think we need to keep statistics, though, because we should do some research here. How many how many fraud situations are due to the zipper key? Because it seems like more consistent.
That is such a. By the way, what a terrible, inappropriate reference.
No, it's a wonderful way.
It's his family now. This isn't he's trying to get laid. This is his wife. This is the mother of his children. If they have children.
It's his wife. That's what it turned into. It just led to that.
Zipper key can turn out to be,
It's great, but come on,
fraud.
It feels like a lot of fraudulent behavior is done because you were drawn. You were it was the siren song. You couldn't. It be calling me. I had to go. Right.
By the way,
again, great guy, and I get it.
Oh, yeah.
I get it.
Nothing wrong with it.
But it is what it is.
Calling me, man. Be calling me, man.
It's
so is there any
he knows it and he knows it.
Is there any bigger zipper key in the history of sports than when 14-year-old Peter fell in love with the Brazilian national team?
That's where I got the idea. Sure.
That's the birthplace of the whole thing.
That's the birthplace of the zipper key. And 30 seconds before I said it, I didn't know it existed. I kind of made it up on the fly.
It's well, again,
one of my favorite phrases.
It's you're a genius. You're an absolute genius.
Yes.
And this is you at your best. All right, here we go. Thomas writes us and says, "Hey, DHR, I wanted to call in, but I'm unable. I have a friend who's from Detroit and is a big Lions fan, but says he's a fan of all Detroit teams, but not just the Lions. But until the Tigers were the best in the AL early in the season, making the playoffs, he hasn't paid attention to them at all and hasn't paid attention to the Red Wings since the early 2000s. Is he really a Detroit sports fan and not just a Lions fan if he doesn't follow them when they aren't good? Thanks. Love the show."
Well, it doesn't sound like he's a fan. I think it's like he lied. He doesn't like the Red Wings. He doesn't like the Tigers. But if he claims to be a fan of them still, then he's a fraud.
Well, let me ask you a question, though. Is there any delineation, though, between the person who has all allegiances to the one city but is not as in on a couple of the sports until those teams are better? Like, is there a delineation between that and, like, you're all over the place? You know what I'm saying?
It's not like he's rooting for another baseball or hockey team.
Well,
he's just, I'm checked out on those sports.
I'm thinking of me
unless they're good.
I'm thinking of me in Maryland, for example. I don't know what Maryland football's doing, but if we get to the end and they're in ball contention, I go, Terps are back.
Because you're an alumni. I've never heard you say, I'm a Terps fan.
No, it's different. You're an alumnus.
And
I guess
college is different because, again, you
got blood in the ground.
Now, I'd have to talk to this individual. But if this individual told me I'm a fan of all Detroit teams, and then I find out he doesn't watch the Tigers and the Red Wings because they stink, then I'd say fraud. If he's somebody that says I'm a huge Lions fan and I want the rest of the Detroit teams to do well, I kind of root for them. That's different. Then you wouldn't be a fraud because then I would take that as you really only care about the Lions. And you're just showing an allegiance to your city by rooting for the other teams when they're in the playoffs or making a run. So I'm going to say, based on the information that I have, no fraud.
All
right, here we go. This is I'm going to do one more email because it's a thorough one. And if you want to be a part of Fraud Friday, you send your emails to dhrespn@gmail.com.
Real easy.
Yeah, super easy. DHR, like Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg, dhrespn@gmail.com. All right, Honorable Judge LaGreca. By the way, I just got a text from my friend Juanito, the ultimate fraud. Juanito went from being a Cowboy fan. He's now a Giant fan. It happened over the last 2 or 3 years. I don't even know what happened. It's disgusting. I've never seen anything like it. And Giants fans, please reject this man. Anyways, Judge LaGreca, I've been desiring to write for a while now, and with the Yankees lost to the Blue Jays this week and their subsequent potential to run to the World Series, I'm in need of an overdue ruling. I grew up in Western New York.
Okay.
Sounds like a Toronto situation. And would spend summers at our nearby cottage on Lake Ontario.
That sounds lovely. Wow.
Sounds like a scene from Meatballs.
My earliest memories of baseball fandom were as a 7, 8-year-old watching the Toronto Blue Jays win back-to-back World Series titles. We did not have cable, and the only local baseball we could pick up with our antenna were the Blue Jays from across the lake. While my entire family were Yankee fans. I remember defiantly stating I was a Blue Jays fan during these formative childhood years, particularly during the '93 season. In the following years, I also fondly remember listening to the radio voices of Michael Kay and John Sterling while driving back and forth between our home and cottage during warm summer evenings in the car with my father, a generational Yankee fan. Fast forward a few years to 1996, and I remember my dad taking me to see a Yankee Blue Jays game, my first MLB game, in Toronto, after winning 2 tickets from the local Yankees radio broadcasting station. I was initially torn on who to root for at this game since the tickets were from the Yankees. However, to this day, I have very vivid memories of the experience, including the fact that I returned home as a full-fledged Yankee fan. 1996 was, of course, Derek Jeter's official rookie season, and we all know how the Yankees finished their season that year. While I have moved across the country several times since 2004 as a member of the military, including a stint in Staten Island when I started listening to TMKS in 2016.
What chapter are we on again?
I'm almost done. I have retained my claim as a Yankee fan for the past 30 years. 8-year-old me would be very excited to know that the Blue Jays are continuing their playoff run this season, and I now can't help but feel that I will also be rooting for the Blue Jays to win it all now that the Yankees are out of contention. I've always felt deep down that some fraudulent activity may have occurred during my switch from a Blue Jays fan to the Yankees in '96, and now that I will be rooting for the Blue Jays to win the ALCS and beyond, I realize I may be a fraud after all. Please tell me it isn't true. Joe from Sodus Bay, New York.
Oh, he's a long-winded fraud.
Yes.
I know, and you know,
you're a fraud with too many
summer
commas.
evenings in the car. He writes well. He's a show-off.
He's a Hemingway.
He's a long-winded show-off fraud. And I could see right through the facade of all the big words and so nice.
It was the warm summer nights with Dad. That's what
was the foliage during the World Series in '93.
He did so much. He hit you with the warm summer nights. He hit you with his military background. He tried to hit you every little soft spot he could.
Stop it.
But you're
Blue
still
Jays.
going fraud.
And then, Peter, he got the tickets in '96. What happened in '96? Remind me, Peter. Remind me, Alan.
I know.
What happened in '96?
Well, he said that.
And now he's fraud. Yeah. All right? Seems like a nice guy, and I think he should write.
Now, what if he had never...
His first book is done, so now all he has to do is get the second book out.
Now, tell me this, though, Don. What if he had just switched from the Blue Jays to the Yankees in '96 and never went back and did not now have an inkling to pull for the Blue Jays? Would he still be a fraud? Or would you say at that point he's now just a fan? Or both?
He was a fan of the Blue Jays and then became a fan of the Yankees. I mean, come on. What's going on?
What's a bigger fraud? And now he wants to go back to the Blue Jays.
He wants to float back. Yeah.
Isn't it crazy? These frauds, man. They're everywhere. That'll do it for Fraud Friday. Yeah. THRESPN@gmail.com. If you're prepared to be judged by the great Judge LaGreca.
We got so much. We got picks coming up. We've also got the announcer lineup. We got to work all this out because we're off at 6 o'clock because of baseball here on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
This is the Michael Kay Show.
If you think that when they don't win a championship, it's a failure, then I can't argue with you. That's your definition. And I can't blame you on that because George Steinbrenner raised you that way. But obviously, Hal Steinbrenner and his family think, you know what? We're good enough every year to make a run at it. Because if it was championship or bust, then these people would be fired. So it's obviously not the case. It's not championship or bust because you haven't won a championship in 16 years.
The Michael Kay Show. Weekdays at 1 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Listen up, New York. It's football season, and you should be out there enjoying every play, every tailgate, every moment. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or sciatica, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. That's where Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain comes in. He's one of New Jersey's top pain specialists, Ivy League trained, double board certified, and dedicated to getting you back in the game. Here's the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical, image-guided procedures that get real results. Dr. Shaw treats everything from neck pain, back pain, migraines, nerve pain, and chronic joint pain. And he builds a custom game plan that's right for you. Same day or next day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. And yes, most major insurances are accepted. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Go to SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
1-877-CARS kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
All right, welcome back. We'll get to calls and more coming up. But hey, everybody, every aspect of your business, from the most mundane to the most complex, will operate orders of magnitude better and faster. When you add artificial intelligence, you know AI is literally a race to the top. The companies that engage AI first will win. So will that be you, or will it be your competitors? Thrive Managed AI is your advantage over all your competitors. Founded by tech powerhouses, Thrive partners with you on smart and secure AI strategy for your business. Then they deploy and manage it for you. Imagine AI solutions working across every part of your business, automating support, powering chatbots, analyzing competitors, even managing billing, collections, and orders. That's just a taste of what Thrive Managed AI can help you achieve. It makes your talented team even better by letting them focus on what they do best. The race to the top will be won by those who engage Thrive Managed AI first. That needs to be you. Go to thrivenextgen.com/ESPN and get started with a complimentary strategy consultation. That's thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. Guys, I know we talked a lot of Yankees yesterday, but if you just indulge me for a second, I just wanted to bring this up real quick because we have a ton of calls to get to and whatnot.
Yes.
But as I listened back again to Boone and Cashman, I couldn't help but I came with now, because once you get past all the headlines and everything else, you just kind of listen to the messaging. And the consistent message from the two of them was that what we did was all the right things. The players didn't perform when they needed to perform. So when asked about, and I've said this many times, I'd love to ask them, a strategy that works in the regular season, why in October does it fail? This is 8 years, right? 8 playoff years that it has failed now out of 9. And the one you didn't make the playoffs at all. And the response was some players just didn't perform up to what the numbers say they should be performing. And so they keep putting it on the players, which tells you they don't think there's anything wrong with the system. They strictly believe, despite the fact that it's different players every year, the players are the ones that end up failing in October.
And that's why nothing ever changes.
Right.
Because the numbers are sacrosanct, right? This is how it works. So when it doesn't work, it's obviously somebody else's fault. But what I would say to Brian Cashman would be, well, didn't you pick these players? If they're not postseason performers, should that not have been something that you were able to root out before you signed or traded for him? I always come back to Devin Williams, but Devin Williams is not a performer in New York. That's on you, right? You went out and got him. You went out and got Sonny Gray. Couldn't handle New York. You went out and got him. Mm-hmm. So it still kind of falls on you. If the players made this, that you chose the players, you extend. Take a look at the history of Brian Cashman's contract extensions, right? Severino, Hicks, not a lot of them age well. DJ LeMahieu. Like, that's on him too, right? So the player did not perform, you're right, or the player got hurt, right? But that still falls on the guy choosing these players, doesn't it?
Yes, absolutely does. But he never takes accountability. Never.
Because
all he says is that it's not enough, it's not good enough, and we're going to get back at it, and we're just going to keep trying. Like, it's never anything that he assesses his own job performance. Never. And like in Boone, while he did admit there are things that keep me up all night, like decisions I've made, things I could have done, he admits that the in-game stuff. But, God, they will not ever relent from the idea that their way of playing and how they want the team to play is the right way. It works. It's just the players, when we get to October, for some reason, they don't perform up to what the numbers say they should be performing. They leave it on the players.
And they lost a tad bit of confidence a couple of years ago with the audit. But then the audit told them they were doing great.
Fugazi.
So,
no audit.
But even if it was Fugazi, if it was like one of those, we're going to do an internal investigation,
Audit.
Garbage.
Right.
That they're not going to stray from this. The only hope, if you really want to see change, is if Hal sells the team. And I'm not saying that Hal's the problem, is that you're not going to see that kind of seismic change unless somebody else comes in and buys the team and says, we're not doing it this way anymore. Hal is completely sold on it. You know how Brian feels about it. Aaron Boone was hired because he was completely sold on it, and this is where we're at. And it's never, ever, ever going to change. It would have to completely bottom out. And even then, they would probably just chalk it up as an aberration, like they did the 82 and 80 season. Oh, we were banged up. What are we supposed to do about it? I don't know if you could explain away a 100-loss season, but I don't think that's ever going to happen.
But there's always an excuse. There's always an excuse. So anyway, like I said, it was something that just really stayed with me as I listened a second time around, and I'm like, man, there was no accountability here. Only Boone admitted a couple of decisions that he has to live with, and that keeps him up at night. But as far as system and strategy, nope.
Yeah, can't imagine that it's ever going to change. We got plenty of calls to get to. So here's the lay of the land. This is our last hour of the show.
Break it down for the people, please.
We're going to hand it over to Seattle for Mariners and Blue Jays, Game 5 of the American League Championship Series. So we're going to take your calls coming up. A lot of Giants because this is a big game. Giants trying to see if they can keep their season alive with a win. As Peter said earlier, 3-4 just feels a lot better than 2-5 and is a lot better than 2-5. And what we're going to do at 5:45 is we are going to have our picks and the announcer lineup. So no ENN today, but we're going to get all the other cool stuff in here before 6 o'clock. It's Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg on ESPN New York.
From the regular season to the Super Bowl, ESPN New York is your destination for football. We've got crazy fans.
If the Giants somehow beat the Cowboys, I'm going to take a dump on your head.
You can feel good because you're a damn football team. Expert analysis.
Marcus Spears joins us now. ESPN NFL analyst Damian Woody.
Mel Kiper Jr.
The Hall of Famer Steve Young.
He's kind of our resident general manager, Louis Riddick.
We got Mike Tannenbaum right now.
And all your fantasy and wagering needs. This is ESPN New York. We are football.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. Just an awful ride heading over to the outbound George. They cleaned up that crash underneath the apartments on the approach for the lower level. Damage is done. Cross Bronx westbound at a standstill from the Bruckner on through. West Side Highway northbound. Still have an accident in the left lane over by 158th. Delays there from the Intrepid on up. Inbound Georgia about 15 to 20 for both the upper and lower decks. Outbound Lincoln about a 45-minute ride. Outbound Holland going to run you now close to an hour. They finally cleaned up that accident on the Grand Central westbound in Queens right before the Triborough Bridge. Still hitting the brakes there from City Field. BQE eastbound crawling through Brooklyn the entire length from the inbound Gowanus through to the LIE. This report is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. Speeding ruins lives. Drivers, watch out for pedestrians and cyclists and slow your turns to less than 5 miles an hour. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Ballybet Sportsbook. Yo, Ballybet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Ballybet. Check out that brand new Parlay Zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Ballybet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Ballybet Sportsbook and Casino.
Download it.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. his parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Hey, this is Jalen Brunson. And this is your home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS FM HD2, New York.
Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, guys.
It's time! It's totally time.
Coverage of the American League Championship Series Game 5 immediately following us right here on 880. That'll be at 6 o'clock, and then that'll be followed by the NLCS Game 4 coverage. You can hear the entire National League Championship Series Game 4 on 1050, and we will have preseason basketball as well tonight at the Garden. Knicks playing host to the Hornets. That's why Allen looks so spiffy at 7:30, and the Nets will finish up their preseason in Toronto against the Raptors at 7. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly.
All right, Donnie, so we've avoided it for the first 2 hours of the show, but we can't avoid it any longer.
We can't move on.
Last night was the home opener for the Devils. It was a fantastic game. You were mainly on the screen. We did because you and the Islanders game were kind of like offset. They started at 7:30.
Right.
So I was jumping back and forth because that was a really good game too. But your game was a lot of fun. And with the crowd in the building, you in the crowd, I saw social media. Peter, I don't know if you saw this. There was paparazzi going over to the TV booth taking pictures of Don.
I didn't see this.
In the booth. I don't know if did Michael ever have this happen to him, because
I'm sure.
I've never seen that before. So the calls, should we go through a couple of them, Peter? What do you think?
I'd like to, because I watched the first several minutes of the third period while I was in hell at the airport, but I didn't get to see any goals. So I'd love to hear some.
1:20 to go on the power play. Jack drives towards the net. Shot!
So Jack Hughes gets his first goal. Gracie was very happy about that.
Got to meet his
call
mom
there
last night, too. She's a wonderful lady.
By the way, UNH.
Yes.
That's where she played.
And I'm guessing his mom is several years younger than you.
Well, she looked like she was.
Yeah. And that would be my guess. He's very young. And we're old. We had kids old.
Well, and by the way, Timo Meyer, not to be mistaken by Timu, which would be a knockoff brand of Timo Meyer, had a big goal last night as well. This is what it sounded like.
Mercer back up top. Dillon slides it to Nemitz. Heaves a pass. It's deflected by...
Beautiful deflection.
Deflects. Bounces the puck past Tarasov. And the Devils take their first lead of the game.
That by the way, the way he bounced that puck, knocked it down, and then it went under the pads. The goalie's name escapes me. But the Panthers had their backup goalie, and he looked like he was going to stand on his head for the first half of the game. Like, he was making save after save. It almost felt like it might be another frustrating home game against the Panthers. But on that game turned once they broke the seal. And how was that? Had to have been fun.
I want to talk to the Devils people though about let's turn the horn down just a tad. A little loud for my boy Donnie's call. There's a little bit of steppage. A little bit of steppage from the horn. Yeah, a little bit.
They're a little too horny. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
It was an amazing night just to be, all the fans are just so receptive. And where we're situated, we're with the fans, so we get to see them and walk around the concourse. And I kind of walked my friend John Stark, who got me into the Devils way back in the day, I went to get him so I can introduce him to some people. And the fans were just so receptive. And there was one moment that Chrissy, I just tweeted to her to thank her. They interviewed her during the game. because she was giving tattoos to some fans, temporary tattoos, whatever. And Rachel Herzog, who's part of our broadcast, asked her, "What's your favorite?" And she said, put a pitchfork in it, the thing that I say at the end of the game. She made a tattoo for it.
Whoa!
So that thing has gained a lot of traction, and I'm really excited about that. That's fun because I gave it.
Do we have a final call from yesterday?
Well, we got plenty of calls here.
Gimme.
So let's keep them going.
Rodriguez backhand, can't get it out as Meyer does a good job to keep. Diving play goes back out to the captain gives the Devils insurance, and it's 3-1.
No, I like to hear the passion. By the way, again, Meyer, what a beautiful he dove. That was the one he dove for to
Mercer.
Make the puck.
Mercer
dove,
and poked it over
slot.
to Heischer. Yeah.
What a beautiful play that would talk about unselfish. And then so here's the final call. I thought you might have done it sooner because it was pretty obvious they were going to win this game, but he did wait for double zeros.
The New Jersey Devils on their way to their third consecutive win, and they win the home opener. Put a pitchfork in this one. Devils win 3-1.
Oh, we're off. Oh, we're off, baby. We got something.
We got something.
We got something.
It feels real. That feels like a real thing.
That felt like I had movement.
Oh.
Well.
Wow.
I appreciate that. But the fans are just it's so cool because the Ranger fans are always awesome to me too, but I didn't get to do as many games and this was it's a homecoming, a home opener, the place is packed. It was just really they made me feel so welcome.
Well, think about it. It's a double whammy. It's the home opener.
Yeah.
And in that, Alan, they've brought their guy home.
Right.
I mean, Don is home.
It's his homecoming. That's what that was. Now, Don, I need to know, in the building, when you're calling especially the first goal, when the crowd's roaring as you call it, did you get that little extra jolt of adrenaline because it's a home game and the packed house and the roar was there as you're calling the goal?
Oh, yeah.
Little extra, right?
Absolutely. And I haven't seen it yet, but for the first time, this has never been done for me. They had the GoPro going.
Oh,
so
boy.
there will be video of that goal, of just isolating me with the call.
Oh, I can't wait till we.
So I haven't.
Inject it into my veins right now.
I don't think I've.
Well, I got news for you, Don. Even if they shoot your GoPro in black and white on film, it'll look better than Alan's camera today. Can we be honest?
Yeah, yeah.
What's the matter with Alan's camera?
It looks like he's on dial-up. What the hell's going on?
Is it the camera or is it the room I'm in, which the lighting is? I got to get myself
I can't tell whether the room isn't great. All right,
yeah.
It does look like a bit of a kidnapping video.
Yeah.
But also the camera's not great. But also today it seems like maybe the connection's bad.
Is it? Well, I mean,
you're blurred.
I'm in the sound room at MSG Network. I don't know. The Wi-Fi's decent in here, I guess.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
You got Alan, who looks like he's on dial-up. You got Don, who because of his basement ceiling tiles looks like he's like the creep who's been living in the high school. Like he's found like a room in the high school. He's been living in the science room for 20 years.
Don and I have the same drop ceiling going on, though. At least
I
you
know.
got that.
We do.
We do.
And then I look like a Twitch streamer with my background.
You know what? I was going to tell you that, Peter. You have that Twitch stream vibes going right now.
I really do.
That you're you're playing a game while doing the show, which actually would be on brand for you.
It would.
And so it's really we're a mess today. We really are.
I'm
and
enjoying
the mic that Alan has hanging there. I'm just waiting for him to go. We are the world. We are the children.
I gotta raise it up and sing.
No. It's more Don. It's more old with the suit and that mic. It's more old-timey boxing announcer where he says the last name twice.
Well, he's got him in the corner, really working him over.
Oh man!
All right. 15th round, you know the boys.
No, I meant Don, the actual ring announcer with that style, the hanging mic on MSG.
Oh, like up like
yeah,
this,
and where he goes, and in this corner, Floyd
Patterson.
Patterson. That's what I'm feeling.
Boy,
it really
so
knocks you
much fun.
in the camera. It looks like it is coming right from the ceiling.
Yeah,
right?
it's pretty special.
So, coming up later in the hour, we got our picks and the announcer lineup. We have to honor the announcer lineup, and we got to be able to give Peter time to do it.
That's right.
So let's get the calls in now at
Let's go.
1-800-919-3776. A confident Dave in West Caldwell. You're on ESPN New York. Believing in your Giants.
Yes, I do. Hello, everyone. And Peter, I've been there before when your kid starts on the plane. It's a lonely feeling, but once you get that merit badge, you can get through it the next time or any other time after that. Don, I was at the game last night. It was a fun atmosphere. I can't wait to go back again. And for the Giants, I think that no one's really talking about it. They played on Thursday night. They got the extra rest. Denver, though it was not a good game against the Jets. I understand that they survived it. But Denver also has a couple games even against the Colts. They blew that game. They've blown some games in the past. I know it's a home game for them, but that's a long travel, too, coming back from London. And I think that really the question is, can the defense steal one? They didn't do well against the Saints, obviously, but that's really what I'm worried about the most.
They're
going to
have to
get some
Dave,
stops?
They're going to have to get turnovers because I don't think this offense is going to move the ball against Denver unless they get really good field position. They're going to have to turn Denver over. That's going to be a must. So can this defense stop Denver? Sure, Denver's not anything special offensively. Bo Nix is not having a great year. But if you can get a turnover, get it in decent field position, then I think there's a real chance to win this game. Because, as much as I believe in Jackson Dart and what's happening there with Scatterbo, you're not going to get many points against this Denver team. Not with the current structure of this wide receiver core. Not just going to be able to run the ball down Denver's throat. They're not going to let you do that.
No, that's what the Jets tried to do, and they got 3 yards at a time.
Just not going to happen. So I hear what he's saying. Coming back from London, you used to always get a bye coming back from London.
Well, keep in mind, Denver's kind of been like bouncing around the country,
right.
So that's part of the deal too. And then having to go to London and back, and
you get the choice now. The league gives you the choice, but usually, so they didn't want it, and it's not that big of really. Peter, you've made the trip. Is it any different than coming back? East Coast, West Coast. What is it, like a 7-hour flight?
No, it's not. It's not terrible.
Well, but they're going to Denver.
True.
Well, so add another 3 hours to it.
Yeah, it's
at least. Yeah, because I'm thinking once you get going.
But still, they clearly are trying to ramp up the intensity by finding any reason to hate the Giants or to be motivated
and I didn't
by
like that.
the dancing and Giants fans. So you could see that they're definitely trying to juice it up for themselves by finding any reason to be angry at a team that they have no reason to be angry at. That's going to make the game interesting.
Let's go to Chris in Tom's River. You're on ESPN New York.
Hey, boys. I really love your show.
Thanks.
Before I get to my Giants point, me being a Devils fan, Don, you really need to update your tattoo.
It's a good point.
It's fair.
It is true. You're missing a year.
I know. I've got a lot on my plate right now. But I'm not anxious to do it because it hurt like hell. I'm not going to lie to you. Alan will tell you.
It's two numbers though.
Yeah, it's not right.
Well,
I agree with you. I think
it's
Don's
4 because I did the whole.
hack.
It would be 2003.
Yeah, but Don, come on.
2003.
Give me a break.
Right.
Let's
Don, do the right thing.
Let's get it done.
Do the right thing and sign.
All right, for the Giants. Now the Giants need a really good wide receiver. I'm thinking maybe even like Chris Olave, or maybe even like a Jaden Waddle.
Yeah.
If you get like a Jaden Waddle for like maybe like a third rounder, would you pull a trigger for that?
I don't think Olave's going anywhere, to be honest with you.
Waddle, tho's interesting, man.
Yes,
because
I
believe
what's his situation? Deal-wise, where is he in his deal?
You talking about Olave or Waddle?
Waddle.
I think he's got years left. I'm not trading a third-round pick for a guy that's going to walk at the end of the year. So his contract, as I look quickly,
I got it for you.
Yeah, he's signed
a 3-year deal.
I mean, he's got 2 years left.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that if that could be worthwhile.
It's a lot.
He's actually got 3 years left.
Yeah, he's on 25.
Yeah,
his base is $1 million. It's not expensive in 26. It gets expensive in 27 and 28.
Yeah, it's one they want to move eventually, but it's the extension that kicks in next year for him. But yeah.
But, you're not talking about, he's 27 now, right? So it'd kick in when he's 29. A little long in the tooth, but not awful. And these things can always get themselves reworked, right? If you had to, if you're willing to take the cap hit later on.
With the Hill injury, though, I mean, why would you move him?
Because they're trying to get out of that extension. They're not close to winning.
Yeah.
So this year's a wash.
Olave's got 1 year, and then he becomes a free agent. That's the guy. Like, if you wanted to, but if you're the Saints, like, what's the reasoning there? It's not a bad contract.
Let's go to Isaac in the car. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Ike?
Hey, how's it going? Don, first, as a twin dad, you are 100% right. That other guy who was giving you grief, 100% wrong. And you should have chased him down and said something more to that guy.
Well, there was a woman. That's why I didn't. But I would have given it to the husband. But I thought it was rude.
But you were
Thank
100% right.
Thank you.
Non-twin parents, they don't get it. I feel you, man. So I'm a big Giants fan, but my point is about the Jets. I've actively rooted against them since Rex Ryan was their coach, but I'm starting to feel really sorry for them. And I do just genuinely think this is like one team that's just absolutely cursed because nothing they do works. Like, even when they got Aaron Rodgers, my friends were all excited. They were hanging on the rim, saying that Rodgers was going to just turn around. I was like, no, something's going to happen that's going to make it fall apart. And, of course, tears his Achilles and then shows how much of a crazy person he is. But
I don't believe
that's the day I died as a fan. I'm telling you, that day when that Achilles popped, but something snapped inside me too.
But that's the stuff, Alan and Isaac, thank you for the phone call, that make you believe that they're cursed, right? Like, nothing they do seems to work. But you could have said the same thing about the Saints until they got better management, the Patriots until they got better management. You can turn it around if you just make the right decisions. And even though it wasn't a super team, Alan, because it was really just about the one player, when do those decisions usually work? Not devastating the way where 4 plays in he gets hurt. But more times than not, those things don't either age well or work out at all. The Nets tried twice and it didn't work.
I get it, but this was a going for it that the Jets hadn't done in a long time, right? And this was Favre, and it's funny. Favre, the same thing happened. Everything except at least you got half a season out of Favre.
8-3, right?
Before the what was it? A shoulder? What was the injury with him?
It was, I believe, it was a shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but they were like one of the best offenses in the league. Like, I would have taken that. At least you had, but this was, you didn't even get to see what it could have been. You could always make the case that the 2008 Jets had the potential to be their greatest offensive team in franchise history. Like, it could have been something special. I'm not saying they would have won a Super Bowl, but that could have been a special year. But, Favre gets hurt, and that's the end of that. It's you at least, though, could say it because you saw it. You never got to see this. It was Hard Knocks. It was it was the honeymoon. It was the greatest honeymoon in sports history because it just seemed like it was perfect. It was going to be great, and you never even got to see one
4
pass.
plays in. Dear
something.
God.
Give me something.
There are no words to describe.
I'm telling you, the guys, something snapped inside me as a Jets fan. And
I get it.
Said, that's it. That's it. It's never going to happen.
I fully understand why at that moment one of two things can happen. And I think it's a win for you, Alan. I think there's a silver lining here.
What's the silver lining?
That moment, if you were like a true Jets fan, it crushed you so badly that the upside is you're never going to hurt to the same level again because it's over. And if it somehow ever changes, like, and I hate to say it, but I think that would mean like new ownership, whatever it would be.
Yeah.
It would be so amazing. It would feel like someone who you knew who died came back to life. That's what because it died that day. You had one nice thing, and it was completely ripped away from you. To where I think now when they have years like this, I was with Alan watching that Monday night game. I'm not saying it didn't annoy him, but not the way it would have 5 years ago.
Oh God, no.
So maybe it freed you. Maybe it was such a painful death that now you move on from it. If one day it ever changes, great. If not, you won't ever hurt that way again.
Like The Exorcist. Your head spun around.
You
vomited violently.
You vomited.
Oh,
you
I
asked
vomited.
Jesus to do something that you shouldn't ask anyone to do. And then you move on with your life.
I wonder how many other Jets fans experienced that it's like the comfortably numb. How many Jets fans experienced it that night and has maintained it? Because I really thought I'd get it back, and I have never been back.
I'll tell you, I think it's broken people. I don't want to speak out of turn. I think it broke Ira. He doesn't call nearly as much.
He doesn't sound the same, does he?
He doesn't sound the same.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that feel the way that you do. And that's why I think there's been less screaming and aggravation around what's happening now, because I think they're just complacent. It's done.
I need Danny in Centerport to join me, though. I feel terrible for that man.
Well, the power of Christ
so
compels
broken.
you.
My by the way, top 5 movie for me all time.
Top 5?
I love Exorcist.
I had a hard time watching that.
Well, that's what makes it good.
No, it doesn't make it good.
It doesn't.
It's
funny because my love of it is not only how scary it is that it takes place in D.C. As someone who's not deeply religious, I so love the religious aspect of the film.
You were fascinated by it, like just
to be of that much faith.
Yeah.
That where the scariest thing on earth is something beyond this earth is facing you
and doesn't shake you.
And the priest isn't shaken. I mean, to the point that he literally dies doing it, but not in fear because he believes. It's so powerful, man. It's got there's levels
Christ
to
is
it.
taking his voice away.
Yeah.
And by the way, the new one was pretty good. I know we heard from some people who said they didn't like it. I loved the one that just came out a couple years ago.
I'm good there. I'm
You're all set.
Scary.
I'm all set. It's like Amityville Horror. The first time I saw that movie, we had moved into a new house. Bad idea.
No, you can't. That's tough.
All right, quick, because I want to be able to make sure we have time to do all we got to do before the top of the hour. But real quick, don't even think about it. The scariest movie you ever saw?
Terrifier.
Candyman.
I mean,
it probably wouldn't scare me now because I'm older. But when I saw it, I was younger. Was Burnt Offerings.
I remember that horrifying people. It's sad. The title alone is awful. I love horror movies. I've seen so many. The actual scariest is hard. So I'd rather say, like, I'm a Rob Zombie guy. So I would say the first time I saw House of a Thousand Corpses, I was like shaken by it, and then I grew to like love it and enjoy it in a different way. But you guys, I'm watching Monster on Netflix. We're sick puppies. This as a culture, the things we're interested in watching are pretty sick.
I never understood it. It's a good top 5 to do before Halloween, though, Don. Just throwing it out there.
You know what? I might have to get in on that on a top 5 horror. I might have to get in.
We should all come up with our own. But I just popped into my head. I'm like, that could be interesting to hear what people have to say. All right, we're going to squeeze. This is going to be a long segment till 6, and the reason that is because we got to get our picks in, and we also got to get the announcer lineup in. So it's Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg taking up until 6 o'clock right here on ESPN New York.
John Ryan.
Yeah, Dad.
I think I came up with a killer slogan for our law firm. D'Agostino and Associates, bite back.
Bite back?
Yeah. When someone hurts you, you bite back. We'll be the law firm that bites back.
Dad, that's brilliant. Accident victims, call D'Agostino and Associates and bite back. Hey, we could even put a big vicious dog on billboards everywhere.
Yeah, and Rottweilers on buses.
Hey, how about a toll-free number?
What are you thinking?
You know, like 1-800-BITE-BACK.
1-800-BITE-BACK. That's brilliant.
But what if people hear fight back?
Easy. I'll spell it out for them, like 1-800-BITE. Back. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
Love it. Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
All this talk about biting back got me hungry.
Me too. Want to grab lunch?
Sure. Hey, how about a jingle?
You mean like D'Agostino, law, bite back?
There's nothing the voice in our head obsesses over like our health. But with over 100 lab tests and insights, Function can help answer the questions like, why am I so tired all the time? How can I get better sleep? My friend was telling me about magnesium gummies she takes. How do I even know if my heart is work stress affected? It's time to up my cardio. If my mom has something, how would I find out? It's time to get some blood work done. A Function membership gives you a comprehensive health check with results tracked over time. Find out what you're made of at functionhealth.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. That's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. No easy way to get out of town right now, and especially tough on the West Side Highway northbound, heading over to the outbound George. Still have a crash in the left lane in the 150s. Been out there for well over an hour. Traffic is crawling there from the Intrepid on up. Not much better on the Cross Bronx westbound. You're slammed from the Bruckner through to underneath the apartments. Adding to the delays, an accident in the left lane over by White Plains Road. Inbound George, not too bad, about 5 to 10 for both the upper and lower decks. Outbound Lincoln, your best ride at 45 minutes. Outbound Hahn going to run you over an hour. Solid ride on the Grand Central eastbound in Queens heading into Kew Gardens. Collision right after the Van Wyck blocking the left lane. Delays go back to LaGuardia. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Visit MAD.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products.
Talk about stepping up. Bang! Bang!
It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
What's the game called?
Football. These are the Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg Pro Picks.
That's football!
Pro Picks, Week 7. Here are our standings. Allen's our leader. He's got 15 points with a very disappointing 7-11 record. I actually have a better record, 8-10, but I've got 14 points, so poor point allocation. Peter's point allocation is terrific, but his record stinks to high heaven. It's 5-13. but he's got 11 points, so he's right in the thick of this thing.
5 and 13.
He's big from 3, but he can't make a layup. That's the problem.
That's, by the way, it's kind of like me in real life.
So, because Allen's our leader again, he leads us off, and nobody touched last night, so we've got 3 picks each. Let's go.
All right. My one-pointer is going to be a team that I don't know what to feel about them, but I'm going to do it anyway because eventually you just got to get on the bandwagon. And I'm going to take the Colts on the road in L.A. against the Chargers. I think the Jonathan Taylor train, they ride him. Obviously, you see what Daniel Jones is doing there. It's a 1.5. I'm getting it. I'm taking it, and I'll take Indianapolis. My 2-pointer, another team that I have been talking about, and it's making me throw up in my mouth every time I do it, but I believe in them. It's an interesting spread for them, but it's a revenge game. The Patriots at Tennessee. Mike Vrabel goes back to Tennessee. They're getting 6.5 on the road. I'm taking it. Here's why. Vrabel, petty, run it up, baby. You know that he has more wins this season in New England than Tennessee has since they fired him? What a stat that is. So give me the Pats of my 2-pointer. And my 3-pointer, how about this one? Eagles at Minnesota. Minnesota coming off a bye. Carson Wentz getting the start against the former team. I love the petty. Give me Minnesota.
Wow.
That's my big 3.
I thought about doing that, but
look at this.
Not for
Stones
3.
on this guy.
No, I'm in.
Three.
I'm buying the drama. I'm buying the petty. I'm all in.
We've got 2 in common, Alan. The one we do not have in common is my 1-point play. That's the Packers traveling to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Cardinals had a big win last week. Held on, or at least covering the number. Packers, it's under a touchdown. Cardinals are 0-3 against the spread at home this year. So I like the Packers, who I think are going to slowly get better and better as the season goes on. I know we're kind of down on 3-1-1, bad tie against the Cowboys, bad loss to the Cleveland Browns, but I think they'll take care of business. You know, there's going to be a ton of Packer fans in Arizona. That's my 1-point play. I'm going up against Allen with my 2-point play because I like the Chargers. They are 16-7 against the spread since the start of last year. This Colt train has to come down at some point, doesn't it? They're a good team, but they're not that good. And I think the Chargers had a really nice bounce back against the Dolphins. I think that they're better than what they've shown over the last couple of weeks when they lost to the Commanders and lost to the Giants. They're only favored by 1.5, so you're basically picking a winner. So I'm going to go with the Chargers as my 2-point play. And I agree with you, but I've got a little bit more confidence making it my 3-point play, and that's the Pats going to Tennessee. Tennessee is 0-10 against the spread in their last 10 home games. When you fire a coach in the NFL in the middle of the season, you're pulling the plug. And, Vrabel going back, Patriots, it's under a touchdown at 6.5. I love the Patriots so much that I made it my 3-point play. So the Packers, 6.5-point favored in Arizona, my 1-point play. I've got the Chargers at home covering the 1.5 as my 2-point play. And I like the Pats in Tennessee as my 3-point play.
3.
All right. I've heard enough. Now I need to speak.
Yeah.
My 1-point play, I'm in lockstep with Don. I don't know why. It's probably a dumb way to pick. But I have faith in the Chargers getting better, and I also have faith in Indy at some point running out of some of the tricks, especially on the road. So I'll take the Chargers with the short number. -1.5 is my 1-point play. My 2-point play, I try not to get involved with matters of the heart. But my matter of the heart it's actually not as simple as you think. My heart would say stay away from the Commanders because I'm scared of I'm scared they could lose to Dallas.
You got to play the song.
And Dallas can score and the Commanders defense can give up points. But my brain tells me, don't listen to your heart that's filled with years of letdowns. My brain tells me, no, Jaden Daniels is the best player playing football in that game. Trayvon Diggs out for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, how do you get concussed at home?
How you get fired on your day off, we don't know. But Jaden Daniels is going to have a big old day in Dallas. I like the Commies. Get them while you can get them at a short number, -1.5. I'll take the Commanders my 2-point play, and I'll be sad either way if it doesn't work out. And lastly, I'm going up against my guys who have been good for me a few times. The Bucs are a very good team, but I firmly believe Detroit is turning into Detroit, and that means when I can get the Lions at home for less than a score, I take them. -5.5. Detroit and Tampa, they'll score a ton of points, and I like the Lions to win by 7 to 10 points. So Chargers for 1, Commies for 2, Lions for 3.
I like it.
All right. And I want to remind everyone playing ESPN New York Survivor, make your pick before Sunday's 1 o'clock games to stay in the running for the $5,000 grand prize. After 6 weeks, we've lost 83% of our players, leaving only Chris Canty, Evan Cohen, and Jake Assman as the survivors left with ESPN personalities. Follow along on the ESPN New York app, powered by SplashSports.com. So now, Peter.
It's time for ENN?
It's time for ENN.
Wow. Well, we're not, no ENN intro?
Well,
no
I thought we were just doing the lineup.
We're going announcer lineups.
But the announcer lineup is part of ENN.
Well, let's just go announcer lineups. Let's just get right to it.
It's really an insult to you because he doesn't think you can do an ENN with the announcer lineup in 18 minutes. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, Anthony, isn't our out time 53?
Okay, go ahead. Go for it.
He has zero confidence.
And
you
now
know what?
it's time,
I'm right there with him.
And now it's time for ENN.
This is an ENN special report.
You show him, Peter.
Now reporting.
The very handsome Jewish man, Peter Rosenberg.
We should talk some sports.
Do what you want. It's
what
ENN.
have I let him down? Once or twice.
Rosenberg!
Right to him. Stick it right to him, Peter.
Hi. How's everyone doing?
Good, and yourself?
Oh, fantastic. I don't even know what's prepared for this because they didn't think I was doing it. But I'd like to start off.
I only asked 3 times.
You asked for it.
And I don't think, you know what? I don't think you can do it.
This is very on brand.
I'd like to start off ENN by saying good evening to Don.
This is ridiculous. Sorry, guys.
Actually, it didn't sound that bad. I'm sorry.
And
I couldn't hear a word that was being said.
No, I know. The best was the visual. I still hoped someone was putting together a time lapse of your face as the show went on. And
the
then I would
protest was unbelievable.
I would also like to say good evening to my friend Alan.
Yeah. Let's carry the boys. Let's carry this conversation.
Wow.
And lastly, I'd like to say good evening to myself.
Go look at Redford in that movie right now. You'll want to hook up with him.
A lot was done this week, don't you think?
We had a week.
It's a heck of a show.
See, Don, this is how he's getting through ENN. He'll do hello drops and then go right into the announcer.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to reinvent the wheel. I just wanted to house the announcer lineup properly.
No, it's true. You want to house it correctly.
So with that, let's get into this week's NFL announcer
Let's
lineup.
go right to it. Right to it.
By the way, I'm a little bit upset with us as a group because I was so tickled today. There was a video of the morning show of Dave, Rick, and Jordan Ronan. And I found it hilarious that they were on video and all of them were at like markedly different distances from the camera. And
Like
we've
us?
basically done the same thing today.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, we'll
Today,
keep.
Alan looks like he's at a job interview.
I swear.
Set back across the desk from all of us.
It's like Step Brothers. I'm expecting somebody to come out from behind them.
This is like a Zoom meeting I'm having with a prospective employer.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
All right, let's get started, guys. And we're going to take a trip to foggy London town on Sunday morning. But not as much as a London Sunday does it feel like a Repug Thursday. The Rams and the Jaguars, the kings of London town, baby. The Jags, come on, they make a home there. Everyone's hanging out at Shad Khan's apartment on Saturday night, having tea and strumpets, and then they're waking up first thing on Sunday at 9:30 a.m. with Rich Eisen on the call.
I love it.
He'll be joined by the great Kurt Warner.
You FaceTime me in the middle of my massage.
And Sarah Walsh.
Oh, I got a ma'am. I'm so old.
God, it's crazy, man. It's unreal that we've gotten so used to these London and Europe games being a part of every single week once the season gets going.
Is Eisen there for like 3 weeks? Did they just stay there?
That's a great point. Does Eisen just move there?
Who did the one in Ireland?
I think Eisen was last week. I thought Eisen did do back-to-back.
So he did London. I know that, right? He did the Jets
Yes.
the Jets game. So I imagine he just stayed there.
Why not?
Not a bad gig. Just saying. Not
Listen,
bad.
I love Rich Eisen, the talk show host. And as a football announcer, well,
Can't be great at everything.
I love Rich Eisen, the talk show host. All right, let's go out. Let's go out to Chicago. You know what they call this? The Dicka Bowl.
Excuse me?
Break out your blunt and your dress. Shout out to Ricky Williams, the Saints and the Bears. 1 o'clock on Fox. Kevin Kugler on the call.
And it's caught! It's a touchdown!
He'll be joined by Daryl Moose Johnston. And Allison, don't call me Denise Williams.
Aw.
Yeah,
come
no, it's
on.
She's one of the few, the proud, the
Denise
strong.
Williams. Good.
Wait, Denise Williams, didn't
Good
she have a hit
reference.
song?
Yeah, let's hear it for the boy.
Yeah.
And and free. She had a couple of great songs.
So why
actually.
is that a drop?
Yeah, see?
You want to get let's hear it for the boy moving forward? That's a thought.
Maybe.
Don, I'm upset you missed my throwaway line there. Of those now the only ones left without a drop, the few, the proud, the straw. That's all. there aren't many left.
There you go.
All right.
Beautifully done, Jacob. All right. Then we move on to Cleveland Town. Oh, I tell you what. You throw away the record books when Dan Marino and the Dolphins trot in the town to take on Bernie Kosar of the Browns.
No.
Sorry?
No.
Oh, all right. Well, either way, the jerseys are the same. The Dolphins and the Browns.
Maybe it's Greasy versus Sipe.
Exactly, like you dream about. CBS, 1 o'clock, and when you get two powerhouses like this together, you call Spiro Dides.
My heart is always at the Jersey Shore.
He'll be joined by Adam Archuleta.
Adam Golden Archuleta.
And Aditi Kinkwabala.
Joe Flacco, do you ever age?
Appropriate today, coming off the big Thursday nighter from the Flack man, Joey Flacco. We stay at 1 o'clock. We stay on CBS. And it's the LV Raiders against the KC Chiefs. I don't know if I would have picked this, guys, the 1 o'clock Raiders-Chiefs game. But, yeah, hello, friends. It's a Jim Nantz vehicle.
Hello, friends.
He'll be joined by Anthony Romo.
Here we go, Jim.
And Tracy Wolfson.
Are you kidding me?
Now, I actually considered flirting with this game. I think it's a huge number. The Chiefs are minus 12.5. And, Alan, people are high on the Chiefs being like an offensive juggernaut again.
Well, also that they're back. They're
back.
You're getting suckered into this one, I think.
I think I didn't have the guts to bet the Raiders.
Yeah.
But I feel like the Raiders are a great play here.
That's the word. Yeah, I didn't have the guts to do it either.
But
I wanted to.
You know what this is?
But I wanted
This is a real man's bet. Like if you're an actual gambler, this is you push your chips in on the Raiders to cover that big line in Kansas City.
Right. Only a careless degenerate would bet this game and feel good about it.
Right, and a complete hack who is in Vegas for the weekend just to go to a party. They're seeing Bruno Mars on Saturday. They're betting the house on Kansas City the next day.
Of course.
But this is the Sharks. They got to be on the Raiders. All right, we stay at 1 o'clock. We go to Minnesota. Allen will be very invested in this game. In fact, all NFC East fans will be. The struggling Eagles at the Minnesota Vikings with Carson Wentz. Adam Amin on the call.
Now stands erect.
Oh, he'll be joined by Greg Udison.
I'm aggressive by nature.
And Pam Oliver.
Hey, now.
Back to hey now.
Hey now.
Now, many people, for better or for worse, if they haven't made a better decision with their life, will be focused on a game that when you describe it, to say it sounds like a Thursday would be disrespectful. It's more like a leap year Tuesday after you've had a appendicitis and you're laying in the hospital unable to move, Don. That's how you describe a game like the Carolina Panthers and the New York Jets. Ugh.
A COVID Tuesday afternoon.
Oh, yeah. 1 o'clock on Fox. And the man who got the dreadful email that this would be his assignment was Chris Myers.
Hi, I'm Chris Myers.
He'll be joined by the stink man, Mark Schlereth.
Lick my fingers and touch it.
And friend of the program, Sarah Kustok.
Well, that's basketball, John.
They all deserve better.
With their life, you got to be questioning your life that day. Don't you?
At least for Sarah, it's an easy commute.
Does anybody get that outside of Carolina and New York?
Oh, God.
No. Hell
any
no.
other you mean it's any other market? No, that's at 1 o'clock. No chance.
By the way, this game is so bad they should air it at 1:05. It shouldn't even be a 1 o'clock.
You know what? This game is so bad it might not even be on Red Zone.
By the way, this game is so bad they should just have Mark Sanchez call this solo.
This game is so bad it should be on Nickelodeon and just have slime dumped on it the entire game.
No commentary.
This game is so bad they should experiment with not having video during the broadcast.
Yeah.
This game is so bad it should be in black and white with leather helmets.
All right, moving on.
That was fun. That was spontaneous too.
But this game is so bad.
We should do that every week.
But just imagine Fox. They go, you know what?
Pick a game.
We looked at the schedule, and the choice was send poor Chris Myers and Mark Schlereth to do this, or make Sanchez suffer through it after everything he's done to us recently. We decided to send Sanchez out.
His punishment is he had to call the game
Make
solo.
it through this game, buddy. All right, we go to CBS. We head down to Nashville, Cashville, if you will, and Allen's new team, because Allen's moved on from the Ravens. Now he's fully on board with the Patriots.
I hate myself for this.
The Pats and the Titans, 1 o'clock on CBS. Andrew Catalan on the call.
Adam Catalan on Andrew. Damn it.
Did I just say Andrew or Adam this time?
You
got it right this time, right?
Yeah, I think you got it right this time.
Good. He'll be joined by Charles Davis.
Joey Porter's getting away with being a little bit handsy early in this game.
Jason McCourty.
It's okay, Rondé.
And A.J. Ross.
Texans running back Joe Mixon dapping it up.
And, folks, this is the time slot that you go get your blanket, you set down your beer, you're done drinking, the wings are gone, you got a pile of bones on the table, you don't want to let the dog get into those. You put down your beer, you pull up your blanket, and you get nice and cozy to snooze for the 4:05 clash between the Giants and the Broncos. That's right, Kevin Harlan on the call.
Oh.
That was a thick pick.
Trent Green.
Holy smokes.
And Melanie Collins.
This rivalry never disappoints. When you Derek, take me through that run.
I'll tell you what, though. I'm joking about the time slot, of course. The 4:05, not the sexiest there is. But, man, this is a week where all of us, whether you're a Giants fan or someone who talks about New York sports, will be locked in to see if the Jackson Dart Cam Scattaboo train continues. Man, I hope it does. I truly, as much, you know what I kind of want? Best world scenario for me, Don, is they lose the game, because I don't need Giants wins right now until the commies show something better. But I really hope we get a heavy dose of Jackson Dart and Scattaboo looking like studs this weekend. So we have something to talk about on Monday, because I don't know if you guys know, the Jets season is
over.
That's generous. What's worse than over? Cancel?
Done.
It's just put a pitchfork in it.
Cancel
Okay?
would be great.
As Don LaGreca might say.
Cancel would be great.
All right, 4:05.
Okay.
The Chargers and the Colts on CBS. Sort of a fun game there.
These are not awful 4:05s, Peter.
They're not. No. For 4:05s, these are actually damn decent. Ian Eagle on the call.
That's gotten ugly.
J.J. Watt.
Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse.
And Evan Williams.
The lobby is bustling. There is an energy here.
I'll tell you what, this 425 should be a 405. 100%. It's disrespectful. The Green Bay Packers and the Arizona Cardinals reeks of 405. But they throw it on at 425, and they give it to our friend Kenny Albert.
Short man with a long stick.
Yeah.
We've talked about that stick in the past.
We have? Oh, wow. We got a new one?
You got to feel proud of yourself there, Anthony.
That's
beautiful work by you.
Tremendous.
You feel a little dirty, though?
Yeah.
It's your
wrong.
team, your guys.
I don't know where that came from, to be honest with you.
A little dirty.
Wasn't me. Probably
I don't think
Jacob.
Anthony did that.
He'll be joined by Jonathan and Jen Halle on the
A
sideline.
down to the wire thriller.
Now, you picked this, Alan, and you were right. 425 on Fox. We go down to beautiful Jerry World. That's right, the Cowboys and the Commies. Kevin Burkhardt on the call.
Keith, these are definitely not pumpkins.
Tom Brady.
If I wanted to have fun, I was going to go to Disneyland with my kids.
And Melissa Stark.
Oh, what?
The few, the proud, the straw. Oh,
wait a minute. Melissa.
Okay, nothing like live television. I'm okay.
There you go.
Wait.
They found it.
Why is Melissa Stark doing a game on Fox?
That's what I was wondering. Usually I have her under NBC.
I made a mistake.
No,
I did something.
So I think the straw is for you, Peter.
You know what? Give me the straw again. It's a brain fart. It's a lot going on. I was up till 3 a.m. Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady are, of course, joined by the same lovely legend every week, and that is Aaron Andrews.
Who was talking about you?
And another lovely legend, a man I'd kiss on the forehead if I saw him, Tom Rinaldi.
How spectacular and great is this?
You know, I really do have to tell you guys, when I saw Tom Rinaldi at WrestleMania last year, he was not, working at our job is an interesting one, doing sports talk radio in New York, because you, never know who knows us. So I'll see people that I've been watching my whole life that are now familiar because of this gig. And Tom Rinaldi, what a gem of a man that guy is. That's all me trying to make up for the fact that I completely botched the announcer there. We go to Sunday Night Football, and I have a hunch we'll find Melissa there. Let's head out to San Francisco, a Deion Sanders Bowl, if you will. The Falcons and the Niners, 8:20 on NBC. Mike Tirico on the call.
They still seem to resonate.
There are three teams.
I love how confident he was. I really want to chat with this guy, Dom. Chris Collinsworth.
By next weekend, you will have a TikTok video. You got to put one down.
And Melissa Stark on the sideline.
Oh, okay. Nothing like live television. I'm okay.
Go ahead.
Dom.
Missing with the Falcons that they're on national television every week.
Well, I will say this: they're winning at least right now.
Bijan Robinson is making a case to
be. But you didn't know that at the start of the season.
No, not at the start.
No.
You're right, but it's there though. Their defense is good. Yeah, but you're right. The fact that they were scheduled like this is interesting.
Yeah, it's not what you would expect, but here we are.
Yeah.
Now we have a rare, guys. This is rare. We have a quadruple header on Monday. They got games starting at 3:00 every 2 hours, staggered.
That'd be awesome.
7 o'clock. You have Tampa and Detroit, which is a really fun game, guys.
That's 7 o'clock.
That's a sexy game. So for that one, our friend Joe Buck is on the call.
See ya.
Troy Aikman.
Yeah, feed him.
Lisa Salters.
Welcome to the playoffs.
And Laura Rutledge.
Enjoy that flight.
I love what you guys have done with the cadence of the Monday night call. It's fantastic. And the 10 o'clock game, a.k.a. what are we even doing? The Houston Texans at the Seattle Seahawks. Chris Fowler on the call.
And the bad news gets worse.
He'll be joined by Louis Riddick.
Why are we doing this to Louis Riddick?
Dan Orlovsky.
I think cream cheese is stupid.
Katie George.
You guys are a mess. I hope you guys realize.
And Peter Schrager.
It was spitting. How do you say it?
By the way, it's sad. Riddick, how did Riddick get surpassed by Katie George and Schrager so
I think
fast?
somebody's making a statement.
Yeah, there's an anti-Riddick
I don't know
statement.
who it is.
Oh, this is more about Lewis and less about not having a drop.
That's what it feels like. I mean,
that's not right.
They found it. Schrager's only been with the company 5 minutes. He's got his audio nice and clean.
I'm tired of your team, to be honest with you, dude.
That will do it for your NFL announcer lineup and ENN on this Friday,
You did
October 17th. We
Took
did
slightly
it.
under 18 minutes, but you did it.
Look
Terrific
at him.
stuff. Terrific.
Come on, man.
I didn't think you'd get it in, Peter, but you got it in.
You got it in.
You know what? Thank you for that, Alan.
All right, have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy the football, enjoy the hockey, enjoy the basketball, and, of course, the baseball, which will start coming up in just a couple of minutes.
You don't know that.
Game 5, American League Championship Series between the Mariners and the Blue Jays. Can Seattle win a game at home? We'll see. It's coming up next, and we'll talk to you guys again coming up at 3 o'clock on Monday. All of it here on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg on ESPN New York.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out